I'm reading in between classes.
That a girl.
Got about halfway through the book now. It's a great book.
It really is. It is fundamentally foundational.
Absolutely. So I'm going to set up an Excel spreadsheet based off of all these categories that they're telling us to track.
Oh yeah. Your budget model. Gotta love it. I got your email when you said there are listings in undesirable areas. What do you mean by that?
Hayden and Winkleman.
Those aren't undesirable. People want to live there.
Okay. One of them's way overpriced, like double what the market supports. I mean, $90,000, and the highest ever sold in that area is 42, and he's stubbornly holding his ground.
Okay. What's his motivation for 90,000?
His insurance company told him that to rebuild the house, it would be $198,000. So he feels he's being reasonable. Okay. And I tried to let him know that the market didn't support that.
Is it burned down or something?
The whole town, actually, you say that, and there was a serial arsonist in that town that burnt down 13 abandoned homes.
Huh.
So
he wasn't an arsonist, he was a
him is a burnt down home.
That wasn't an arsonist. He was doing the government work.
Right. Good morning. Well, and the thing is, like, all the commercial buildings are abandoned. The entire town is for sale for $450,000. Owner will carry.
The town of Winkleman?
The craziest thing you heard? Of Hayden. The town of Hayden is for sale. Yeah.
Guys, you want to go buy a town?
Right?
Just put a super Walmart there and we're set.
Dude, we can make it like Utopia. I mean, this is $450,000 at the whole house.
And owner will carry.
That's awesome. If we get a good interest rate, I'm down for buying a town. Put that on your resume. What do? I own a town.
Right.
I got a street named after me. Oh, wait, no, I have a block named after me now.
Yeah, I have a city. Well, it's a small city. It's like a town. There's like 6 people, but I own it. How do you prospect in the town that you own? Hey, this is Dan, your owner.
You're right.
That takes it back to some dark, dark days.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, Dan. Don't say that you're someone's owner.
There's actually multiple commercial buildings that come with the town. So
there you go.
You can, somebody goes in there, does a little fix-up work, and, brings in businesses. And like I said,
I've never even been to Hayden. I'm going to check this out.
Owner will carry. I'll send you a link to the video for the for sale for the town.
I mean, it's next to a giant mine.
That is right now closed down after they were on strike for 9 months. And so the smelter, they closed the smelter down. Hayden, literally, the smelter hangs right over the top of Hayden. The bad thing is the state of Arizona sued ASARCO and went through all of Hayden, literally digging up their dirt and replacing their dirt and repainting all their houses because of the lead poisoning.
Oh, wow.
Right.
All right, guys, I looked at the map. It's not a good investment.
No.
Buying Hayden is not a good investment.
Would you need the lead paint disclosure or the lead, since you said everybody's
lead-based ground disclosure? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just call it the lead-based disclosure. All right, guys, it is 9:03. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is Purple Shirt Tuesday for those of you who don't know. My favorite day of the week. I don't know why. Looks like Steven's halfway there. Just got to throw a blue shirt on top of that one to create a purple one. So Where's Nicole? She's been on every class. I haven't seen her lately. I have to reach out to these people and find out what's going on with them. But good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Jacob. Girlfriend's knee. Or that's your foot if you're wearing slippers. Are you wearing bear slippers?
No, that's my arm.
No, my foot. Or what?
It looked like there were bear slippers on.
Oh no, that's just her knee.
Okay. Well, good morning. Good morning. You guys get me today. Johanna was not able to teach the class today, so I'm the fill-in. It's
Look at
okay.
the time. I gotta go.
Yeah, one of the best classes out there is prospecting. You know, why wouldn't you want to know how to find business? And who better than the productivity coach who teaches this stuff every freaking day? So we're going to start off with, what have you been doing with your life the last 2 weeks? I've gotten an email from Letha. I've got an email from Steven kind of letting me know what's going on in your business, what's happening in your worlds. I'd love to hear from the rest of you. Where are you at in your contacts? What's working? What's not? What do you need some help with? What mental blocks are you dealing with that are keeping you from being the successful person you need to be in real estate? Jacob, we're going to start with you. You're bottom right of my screen.
All right. So lately I've been calling people and I don't know what it is because I call them like 11, 12. They always act like I just woke them up. And then it always gets really awkward super fast because I ask them how they're doing, how's life been, stuff like that. And they just seem like they don't really want to talk to me.
You texted them?
Yeah, I'm texting them too. I'm starting to learn that texting them is working a lot better because most of the people in my contacts, they don't really want to talk on the phone.
And you'll find that. So once you get if you get the weird vibe on the phone, go digital. So I like it. All right. Where are you adding to your database?
I should be adding more often. I added all the contacts on my phone, but I'm trying to get people on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. I'm trying to get their contact information.
Okay. And how are we going about getting their contact information?
Just DMing them or on Facebook Messenger or Instagram DM, just trying to talk to them, like catch up with them, and then slowly getting their information from them. Okay. Just like work my way that way, you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you for that. I'm gonna put up a graphic here we're gonna talk about here in a second before we jump into material. So Kayla says, a friendly reminder, tomorrow Ignite will be 9 to 11. Immediately following that, you have the opportunity to attend Build Your Empire with our new OP, Kristen Cole. You should have gotten an email yesterday from our market center to register for that. Please do. It's going to be a great class. If you can attend, it's free to you because, well, she is our market center OP. Might as well utilize the tools and resources given to us. The email is in the chat to send to get registered. Or like I said, you should have gotten that email yesterday. All right, let's move on to Desiree Brown. Tell me, how is your contacts going in?
Slow but surely. I think I have almost all of my contacts in command right now. I had a get together with 3 of my friends, social distancing and everything. So I got to talk to them a little bit and tell them what I was doing and tell them that if they knew anybody, of course, to send them my way. And then yesterday I started calling. I only called one person that I hadn't talked to in a while. So the next thing you know, we were on the phone for like an hour because it was hard to transition into what I was doing because I just wanted to there was a lot going on in her life. So I just let her vent and tell me everything. But I feel that was a great leeway because I told her, right, well, I'm going to stay in touch more often. It's not going to happen again where we go this far. I'll call you soon. And then I got her address. She doesn't really use email so much. So I've got that. And I plan on sending her a card here soon. And then today I'm going to call one of my other friends that I haven't talked to in a long time. So I'm trying to get the hard ones that I haven't talked to in a long, long time out of the way first so that I won't be so anxious. And then after that, my plan today also is to message some people that have been trying to network with me for their Pampered Chef or their jewelry stuff on Facebook and see if I can work my thing with them. Like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Maybe I host a party for you, and then, then I can, put something on with you, and you can spread the word too. So that's about where I'm at right now.
Strategic partnerships. Your daughter's hiding in the hallway.
You're called that.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And I'm okay with those calls when you're calling somebody you haven't talked to in a long time to make that connection again. It's important to be able to fortify that relationship. So allowing them to talk and get it all out there, it's only going to re-solidify you in their life. And then we can start peeling back those layers and implanting us as a real estate agent. So that's fantastic. All right, we're going to go to your right, your left, your right. Mr. Brown.
Let's see. I've been adding my contacts in. I kind of wanted to do them all at one time, but I'm trying to stay to the 10, 10, and 10. And so each day I've been able to put 10 more contacts in there. I finally started calling a couple people yesterday, and I started with a circle of my friends that I haven't been in contact with long enough. And today I plan on doing the more, hopefully getting closer to 10 each day. By the end of this week, hopefully I'll be calling 10 people a day. And then I'm just focusing on contracts and trying to get the social media stuff up going as well too.
Awesome. Yeah, we're supposed to start a contract stuff yesterday. We're gonna dive into it today a little bit. So I do apologize. Yesterday went real fast. I'm gonna blow through this material because it does go pretty quick, because this is just giving you ideas where to go. So awesome. Miss Sarah, you're next. You knew it too, didn't you?
I did. I was waiting. Well, I got to make a U-turn too. So I've been calling my people, anybody that I know, and then in my downtime, I've been working on. I have 2 websites and a blog. So, and I only have to have the 2 websites because I don't know. I set it up wrong. I was an idiot. So, in any event, I have started to get leads come in from there through social media and just Google ads and things like that. So I'm really happy with, they're trickling in, which just means I'm doing what I need to do. My SEO is on top of it. So
good. I will say that I'm enjoying the content I'm seeing yours on social media. I know that it's uncomfortable for you to share yourself in that realm. So
very much so.
I appreciate that you were raw about that on one of your posts. And I think it's going to be beneficial to you in the long run. It's getting those out there. You guys, if you're not friends with each other on social media, I implore you to do so. And then when you see each other posting something that's business related or funny related with business tie-in, like and comment on it. It just changes the SEO in Facebook land. The engagement rate goes up higher, and it helps out your colleagues and helps each other out. Like this morning, Michael Whining, one of my agents, actually one of the top agents in the PC company. You hear that, Jason? You got to beat Mikey now. It put up a post and it says, "Do you like this post?" It's all it says, and it was a picture of 2 of his listing signs. It just said, "Do you like this post?" Because it was a funny, like, play on words. And then I put a GIF in the comments that says, "That's a good sign," because again, post and sign, just being funny. But what that does is it engages with Facebook, and it makes that post go up higher, and more people will see it. You'll start seeing it, especially Stephen and Desiree. You guys can cross blend all over the stuff. Some of the best posts I get is when my mom gets a hold of it and shares it 900 times. I got a recruit that we're bringing into career night tonight because my mom shared something in her community page. And the lady called me up. She's like, "Hey, your wife shared something?" I was like, "Oh, that's my mom." And she's like, "Oh my God, that's so cute that your mom does that." And we talked for an hour. And then she's come like she'll be a new recruit. But those things help engagement all over the place, because if you're sharing stuff all the time, people see, hey, you share, you share, you share. But when you get somebody else sharing your stuff, Facebook goes, hey, this person's interesting. Let's give them more profile. So awesome on that, Sarah. Great point, the social media aspect. Miss Hanson, you're next.
Okay. Well, I did another Facebook post. I've gotten another lead, which I called last night. I'm waiting to hear back from them. And I did email them as well. I did the GPS with Jason this weekend, and he had some really good ideas for me to build my database. Since you know that I don't really have anybody here in Arizona. And so I just need to start doing like open houses and doing more circle prospecting. I need to work past my hesitance to ask people to let me host for them. Like these are people I haven't met yet and I feel awkward.
So what makes you feel awkward?
That I don't even know them and I'm asking them to let me hold open houses for them.
Can I give you the encouragement and the authorization to do so?
Yes.
Hi, I'm one of Big Dan's agents. Can I hold your open house open?
Okay.
That in itself is your authority to do these things.
Okay.
Trust me, people will let you hold open houses just because you're wanting to hold an open house. Listing agents, we get to a certain point, we don't want to. We want to take the listing, let someone else do the open.
Okay.
So don't be afraid to ask. I love that you're getting out of your comfort zone though. That's good.
I have a question. We're going to get more on actually how to holding the open houses and stuff, correct? Because that's something I'd like to do here soon, but I don't really know how to start.
Yeah, I think that's in 3 days. If I'm
Okay.
right. If you look at your Ignite book, there's an open house being taught by
Yeah,
Tracy
2 more.
Patel. It's phenomenal. 'Cause I think you've got prospecting, marketing, open houses. I
Okay.
think the style where it happens. So it's coming up soon. So Friday.
Okay.
So today's Tuesday. So Wednesday's marketing. Yeah, Thursday open houses.
Is it Tracy teaching this time again, or who's teaching it?
Oh yeah.
He's good.
Awesome. Well, Letha, you're next on my list.
Well, I've been making some progress. Unfortunately, so I'm going through basically, I made a list of 50 people to call that were people that had called me as buyers on previous properties that I had listed, and they didn't buy, but they were interested or whatever the case may be. So as I'm going through and calling this list, I realized that I'm kind of in the wrong area. I'm wanting to be towards Tucson. So, and I'm kind of backtracking into the Kearney area that I'm trying to get out of. So I'm looking to try and hold an open house in the Tucson area so I can expand my database into the area that I actually want to be in. But I'm making calls. I've got cards written, like a ton of them. So I'm doing my cards. I just haven't gotten into Tucson to drop them off.
Okay.
And I've expanded my database. I'm only putting into the database as I contact them, and I tag them and everything as I go. And so I'm already up to about 50 something people in there.
Nice. That's awesome.
And I've got a bunch of people on the email to where they get the automatic monthly neighborhood emails.
Okay, cool. You're doing the neighborhood smart plan. That was going to ask.
Yes, smart plans.
You guys all using smart plans on your contacts you put in?
I need
Trying
to.
Having trouble like finding one that works completely the way I like. I started messing with trying to create a simple one for myself to put people on, but I'm looking at them.
Yeah, look at them. Just don't try to be too creative on it. Let's get something on there. And if you find some good ones, I love going back through and making it sound like mine. So there's some good opportunity there for you. Make sure you get at least one person in the database on one. That's the goal, is to get you started with. Now, Jason, you're last. How's your contact growing, your database, your business?
I'm the opposite. It sounds like from everybody else. I have no problems calling people. Yesterday, I made 50 calls. I'm sending out 3 cards today. My problem is the back end on the paperwork and getting organized. That's where my 80 is turning into being my 20.
I got you. Keep focused. You'll lead generate yourself out of that other problem. I assure you.
Cool.
Awesome. I'm going to show something with you now. It's not part of Ignite. It's something from MAPS Coaching, but I want to share it so you can see it. We talk about lead generation and prospecting as a big part of your business. Write these numbers down. The research for average agents indicate that it takes 12 contacts to generate 1 lead. It takes 5 leads to generate 1 appointment attended. It takes 2 appointments attended for 1 closing. Therefore, 60 contacts, meaning real estate conversations, equals 1 attended appointment. 120 contacts is 1 closing. Or 10 leads equals 1 closing. I'll give you a second to write that down. This should be in your Ignite book, and we're going to start printing it out, I think, and putting it in there next time. But this is really just should put some math to it. You guys all got it written down? So we look at what we're asking you to do every day is adding 10 contacts to your database and talking to them every day. Meaning on average, you should have a closing for every 12 days of work. So if you're doing it 10 at a time, 120 contacts, that's 10 days of work, or sorry, 12 days of work. You should be generating enough appointments to go on, talk to people to generate a closing. If you do this throughout the course of a year, meaning you're doing it 5 days a week, 42 to 44 weeks a year, because you're going to take some time off for vacation, you're going to take some time off for trainings and stuff like that. So you're not working 52 weeks a year. It's on average between 40 and 44. That's roughly 2,200 contacts made a year. When I say contacts, I'm not meaning people in the database is 2,200, but people you've talked to. Opportunities you've had to have real estate conversations. On average, 2,200 contacts will generate you roughly a deal a month. And that's as simple as 10 contacts a day. 10 contacts a day will give you about a deal a month. An average income off a deal is what, $6,000 to $7,000. So 10 contacts a day could relatively estimate you around $72,000 to $84,000 in income in GCI per year. What happens if we double that number, doing 20 contacts a day? Now you're at $140,000 to $160,000 a year. Is 20 contacts a day difficult? This is where you unmute and say something.
Not if you do it every day.
Not if you do it every day. That's why time blocking is important. We do Ignite in the morning from 9 a.m. to noon is when we're blocking out time. We know why this is. You guys want the insight.
It seems like the more you make those contacts and have those conversations and get out of your comfort zone, the easier it is to add to the amount you're doing every day.
It is. And we do 9 to noon in Ignite because that gets you in the habit of having something set to do where you cannot be distracted or be doing something else in the morning every day. We don't do it on the weekends. We don't do it on holidays, but it's this thing that's setting you up every day from 9 to noon to lead generate, update your database, send out your note cards, and build your business. So let's take 2 hours of class out of your calendar. Now you have 2 hours every day to make 20 contacts. Can you do it?
Yes.
20 minutes. It's pretty impactful. You start looking at it that way. That's why this is set up that way. But keep those numbers in mind. If I were to tell you all you had to do was talk to 20 people a day to make $180,000 a year, would you do it? Hell yeah, you would. Well, guess what? I just told you. Make 20 contacts a day. Contacts, not just calling people and leaving a voicemail. It's talking to them, having a conversation. Life will get real good for you real fast. All right, we're going to jump into course material now. Blaze through this. If you guys have your participation guides out, you're going to need them today. If you do not, we sent you an email this morning, so you guys should be able to see the Ignite thing. Thumbs up. Let me know you can see it. There we go. Heather's listening. Got a thumbs up from Heather. Thank you. Today, we're really going to focus on a lot of the growing your business. So every day we do the 4 things. lead generate for buyers and sellers, make listing presentations and get listings, make buyer presentations and get listings, again, get listings, and preview real estate. We kind of talked about our 10, 10, 10, 2s already. I did not go into the previewing of real estate yet because I really wanted to focus in on the prospecting side of it. And also, every day you should be running a business. That's marketing seller listings, showing houses to buyers, negotiating your contracts, transaction management to closing, vendor management, meaning your strategic partnerships, inspectors, lenders, title companies, setting goals, realistic goals, reducing your risk and compliance, attending trainings and getting coaching, which you're doing now, is attending a training and getting coaching. So on the PC side of things, guys, we have our Monday class at 2:30 every week. We have scripts and role play every morning from 8 to 8:30. And we have our PC mastermind 6 o'clock on Thursday. So join into all of that stuff. The more you participate, the more you're going to learn, the faster you're going to develop, and then manage your money. So today we're going to connect prospecting to lead generation. This is our marketing funnel. This is the prospecting funnel. So first we're going to be prospecting and marketing, and that is the elements of lead generation where we're going to find people to talk to. It's either going to come in the form of leads, being people that we know them, they don't know us, or contacts, people that know us and we know them, we've had a conversation with them. We're going to find out, we get to a point where it's called the connection. We've made a connection, and either we're going to cultivate the deal or we're going to keep it in our captured bucket. We're going to cultivate, meaning we're going to nurture and qualify the lead to generate an appointment to get us an active contract, like a buyer broker or a listing agreement. And then we're going to open escrow, meaning under contract. So it's an accepted purchase contract or a listing under contract. And then we're going to close it. That is the contact to contract timeline. And then once we close the deal, they go right back into our contacts thing where we cultivate, nurture, and do it again. Notice what there is no out to this cycle. It is all a giant circle. We get their information, we walk them through the process, we get them through the contact to contract timeline, we close the deal, we put them back in contacts, and we keep in contact with them. We have conversations with them. They become part of our referral net. Emphasize the prospecting is to build your business. So lead generation should always be purposeful, intentional, because lead generation is the life of your business, period. I said this the first day. You are not in the real estate business. You're in the what business?
Lead generation business.
Awesome. I saw a lot of lips on that one. Lead generation business. Because no matter what business or industry you're in, if you do not have enough leads, you are not in that industry very long. Understood? Pretty simple. Most agents get out of real estate because they've made a lot of money, didn't pay their taxes, and don't have the leads to pay for more. Just saying. It's always lead based. Lead generation is taking a message or using a method to drive a message to a desired audience, meaning social media, direct contact, mail, postcards, stuff like that. We call this message or method lead generation the 2 M's. The message needs to match your marketing. It needs to make an offer for immediate response. So your marketing needs to have a message, a call to action. Prospecting is also a call to action. Should the marketing be tailored to your intended message and the sentiments of the market conditions to target a group in that area? So targeting a group. Rentals, buyers, sellers, first-time homeowners, VAs, veterans, military. So we want to make sure that the message has a call to action. Call me now, look at my website, do all these things. But there's 2 primary methods of getting your message out to your target group. And those are, what do you think they are? There's 2 primary methods of getting your message out. One starts with prospecting, the other rhymes with marketing. So we're going to go over prospecting at a highlight in this elemental section. Well, I didn't even tell you, today is the first day of elemental. So this is like the foundational stuff we're doing. We're really going to talk about it. Today is the earmark of prospecting and how we can use prospecting to get our message across. Tomorrow we do marketing. What's the difference between the 2, you think? Someone read the prospect.
One costs you money.
Okay, let's go into it. Marketing. Lisa, what is marketing?
Marketing costs you money. It's where you pay for advertising and
it's on your screen. So money intensive, it's passive, it's long-term results.
right.
It costs you money. You don't do anything actively. You kind of set it and forget it. And you're looking for long-term gain, not immediate. Prospecting, on the other hand, is what?
Time intensive.
What does that mean?
It costs you time instead of money. You go actively out there and talk to people and contact people, like our 10 calls a day and our card writing and stuff. It's proactive,
Which generates.
immediate results.
So why do you think prospecting based and marketing enhanced is better?
What?
So why would you think being prospecting based and marketing enhanced would be better?
You don't buy in marketing. It's just a supplement. You want to rely on your skills and your ability to do it yourself, essentially.
Well, I love that. That's good response. Marketing supplements your efforts. Marketing is the sugar on top, the strawberries or the icing on the cake. Your prospecting needs to be the foundation of your business. Prospecting based, marketing enhanced. What else does that mean? Someone else. Anyone else seen an advertisement on TV?
Yeah.
Right? Have you ever had a salesperson from that company call you up shortly after ever seeing that advertisement, or they call you and then soon after you start seeing that advertisement? Well, you guys are not old school like I am, I guess. I'm going to go even more simple. Have you ever been on Amazon? And then when you go to Facebook, all of a sudden the things you looked at on Amazon are on your Facebook screens?
Feel like Big Brother's watching you.
That is essentially prospecting based, marketing enhanced. Because you went to Amazon and got the message. You looked for this is the information they gave you. You made a decision not to purchase and you walked away. Right? They were prospecting this. This is a very highline overview, mind you. And you got that information and you left. Now, Amazon is marketing to you to solidify the message they gave you. Do you still want this? Do you still want this? Do you still want this? That is marketing enhanced. Other way would be if you're on Facebook and then you see an ad pop up, you're like, oh, that's interesting. You click on it. That's marketing based. And then you go to the website and you look at it, you put it in your cart, you walk away, right? Has anyone ever done that? You put something in your shopping cart, you're like, nah, I don't really need it, and you bail. Well, the next day you get an email from that company. Hey, we noticed you left something in your shopping cart. Or, hey, you didn't pay for that thing in your shopping cart. Your order hasn't been processed. Raise your hand, you ever had that? That is marketing-based, prospecting enhanced. They're relying on somebody to click on something to get there and then follow up with it. Which one do you think generates longer-term results?
Prospecting based, marketing enhanced.
Prospecting gets your message out there a lot faster, and then marketing solidifies their decision. So I want you to start thinking about that. All right, turn to page 4 in your participation guide. There are a variety of prospecting messages to share your message through. On this, there's not a whole lot that you guys have done, but we're going to go over some things. Number 1, phone or face-to-face. On top, right? Listings without agency. What does that mean? That's for sale by owners or expires. Opportunity for you to call, make a connection, share your message. You've got circle prospecting. Circle prospecting is a term you're going to hear a lot. You may not understand. It just means that you're working in a sphere around a target location. So circle prospecting could be your neighborhood, could be apartment complexes in a certain neighborhood, recently sold listings, recently listed properties. Could you actually circle prospect around businesses? Like you got a friend that owns a business and you're like, hey, my friend owns a business around here. I'm going to call the people around their house. Any reason in the world, you can literally draw a circle around it, and that's circle prospecting. I'm going to prospect in that sphere for a certain result. Did you guys know you can circle prospect other people's listings?
How does that work?
You got a neighborhood that you live in. I'm just saying, hypothetically, you got a listing in your neighborhood. Another company puts a sign in the ground, house for sale. You start calling people in your neighborhood and saying, hey, did you know the house on Main Street just went for sale? Would you like to know what your house is worth? on average, within 20 days, 21 days, I think it is, somebody in the vicinity of that house is going to be making a real estate decision. So 20 houses on either direction of that home on that street, the odds are in your favor that within 21 days, somebody's going to make a decision on real estate, buying, selling, renting. You ever driven by a neighborhood, see a sign pop up, and then a couple days later down the street, another sign pops up? Oftentimes it's the same company. Might be a different salesperson, the same company. So why don't you take the opportunity when you see a sign going in the ground in the neighborhood you're watching, go door knock that neighborhood. That goes into the next side of things, but I didn't know you guys knew you could do that. I call it stealing thunder. You're going to go out there and you're going to steal another listing agent's thunder because they could potentially get another listing out of that or another buyer out of that because the odds are within 21 days, someone's going to make a real estate decision. So why wouldn't we want to captivate that? Go prospect ourselves, get our message out there so that in the event that they're willing or able to make a decision right then and there, they already have somebody to make a decision with. Make sense? Next, you can do some community outreach stuff. Like what? Charity and volunteer work. What can you do for charity or volunteer work that would be beneficial to real estate?
Actually, I still have their business card, but when we went to Topgolf, is it Habitat for Humanity? I don't know. Is that the name of it? I forget. But you could build houses, right? You could build houses for people who don't have them.
How else can you? How can you prospect around a community event?
My girlfriend, she fosters animals, and whenever like someone comes into like, I think it would be like adopting the animal, I always like try to prospect around them, say, oh, you're getting a new animal, you're gonna need like a bigger house to take care of this animal, stuff like that.
That works. Another thing is, I'm gonna throw this out there, you can bring your community involvement.
Right.
If you guys are doing a toy drive or a clothing drive, a blanket drive, or anything like that, set up your community. Reach out and prospect around that. Hey, my name is Sarah Cooner at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. We're doing a blanket drive for the veterans this Saturday from 12 to 1 at the park around the corner. If you guys have any blankets you'd like to get rid of or would like to donate a new blanket, we would absolutely love that. Or if you'd like, I can come pick it up. Just give me a call or send me a text with your address and I swing by and pick it up for you. Is that not prospecting? It's community-centered prospecting. Or even ask, if you'd like to be involved and would like to come help us, let me know, give me a call. That's getting your message out there, but it's also tying it to real estate because you're getting your name, your face, and your affiliation out there with people. It's not directly saying, hey, I want to buy or sell a house with you. But what it is it's prospecting for the community and getting people involved so that they associate your name with stuff in that community. Volunteer works the same way, like Jacob was talking, the pet shelters, clothing donation centers, food kitchens and stuff like that. These are huge things. Realtors are on a national average, the most philanthropic group of people. We do more, we give more, we love more.
So with my girlfriend's foster group that she works for, I could just say, I'm Jacob Durante with Keller Williams. If you have any dog food or cat food, please come by, drop it off, or I can go and pick it up for, I forget what her foster care's name is. I could do something like that.
Absolutely. That right there is a reason to sit down and make 150 phone calls today. And it's as simple as pick up the phone and say, hey, my name is Jacob Durante with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. I am working with blank. I don't know what the shelter's name is. We are in dire need of pet supplies. So if you or anyone you know has some extra cat food, dog food, or would like to donate to us, we could really use the support right now. I can even come pick it up for you if you'd like. And these are things that's a conversation to get in touch with people, get them in your database, and you can follow up with them later on and create a sphere around them. So good stuff. Next, key relationships. I want to talk about this. Desiree's talking to her friends that do the Pampered Chef and the other parties and stuff like that. That's a key relationship. I call them strategic partnerships in some things, but you can have a lot of prospecting around that because key relationships are mutual. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. that's really beneficial in having those. You can have those with corporations. Hey, I help run a charity out of this organization. They get the provenance for it. They also know that I'm the realtor of choice. You can do builders. If you've got a contractor or a builder that you work exclusively with, there's a key relationship. They refer business to you, you refer business to them. It's mutual. Banks, same thing. I want you guys to all write this down. Make friends at a bank and ask them if you can have the database of their old refi deals or the people that had gotten pre-qualified and orphaned. And tell the people you call, you will bring back to them to put under contract.
You're
Say that
asking
again?
for your refinance deals and foreclosures?
Every lender has a bank of leads that did refis or pre-quals in the past and didn't go through with it. And if they're not currently working with an agent, you would love the opportunity to have that lead. And if you were to bring it to market, you would bring it back to them because then you're calling their leads for them.
So I got a friend that works for a bank. Can I just ask him and be like, can I have a list of your guys' refis and pre-qualification people that didn't go through?
Or another thing, I'm giving you guys opportunities on finding leads and prospecting with key relationships. Other big agents, go to them and ask them, hey, can I have your old database that hasn't been utilized for you, and any deal I get will split 50-50. Let me call your dead leads. Is that not helping you build business? Another one focused around is investors. Understanding how investors think is going to be beneficial to you because you can do 3 or 4 or 5 deals a year with an investor. All you need is 2 or 3 of them. Then you're working with 2 or 3 people, not 50. If you got people that are in construction work or in plumbing and stuff like that, ask them, hey, have you got any thought about investing? I've got a client now. It's an investor company of mine I was turned on to. I'm on their 4th deal this year. I met them in March. First time investors, I just happened to ask them, hey, are you guys looking to invest in some more properties? Absolutely. And then I came from contribution. Here's my opportunities. Here's what I have. Do you guys interested in putting an offer in? And hell, one of those offers, she called me and says, we want to buy this house. This is what we're offering. The seller's going to accept it. Just write the contract and send it. I was okay. This is Sunday morning. I made $3,000 from my couch. The first time I saw that house is when I went and picked the keys up on closing. Find investors. Be comfortable speaking the language of investors. If you have not done so, get yourself a copy of the book Hold and Flip and read them. The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. There are books out there that will help you make yourself a bigger life. And they're right here. That's the order you need to read them too. You guys can watch the recording later and pause it. Now, teaching and speaking opportunities. How can you prospect to teaching and speaking opportunities?
Go to classes for first-time home buyers and then talk to all the people, the students that go to them.
There you go. Do home buying seminars. Do selling seminars. Give people information. Allow them to join in and have that conversation. Now we have meals, easy around Thanksgiving time. Christmas is giving meals to people. Same thing. You're prospecting to get information and people to donate stuff. Door knocking is canvassing. Same circle prospecting aspect. Door knocking is one of the most palpable things you can do and the fastest return because you're meeting a lot of people and talking to a lot of people face to face. Networking events is going to help you build your core of strategic partnerships. So network with lenders, network with title companies, network with other agents so that you can create a bigger database that you can mine from. Booths and kiosks. When we go back to having the home show or other kind of events, get a booth. You know, the Brown team, real estate experts at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Stop in and get a free home valuation. Talk to us about buying your first house. People will just walk up and start asking you questions, collect their information, follow up with them. Is everybody you're going to talk to ready to buy or sell right now?
No.
No. How are you going to be able to talk to them in the future?
By getting their information.
And then doing what?
And putting them in your database.
And then doing what?
And then putting them on a smart plan and do your like 32 touches and
Just following up.
Following up.
Call them and follow up.
Make it easy. If there's one thing you learned from this class today, is the fortune was made in the follow-up. The fortune was made in the follow-up. Most people that you talk to are not going to be ready right now. Doesn't mean they're not ready tomorrow or the week later or a month later. Right now. Right now, you need to get their contact information so that you can be there when later happens.
Right.
Fortune was made in the follow-up. I have countless agents that I talk to that they give me stories and wins about, oh, I talked to this guy like 2 years ago. I've been sending him an email every couple of months and didn't hear nothing, never opened nothing, never anything. Just calls me up, says, hey, Dan, or actually this one was a Danny Roth deal who was telling me when I first started, a $720,000 sale because he gave the guy a business card at the table next to him at dinner. 2 years ago. And then the guy's like, hey, here's my card. I don't remember he's a lawyer or some, my brain thinks dentist. But Danny just followed up with him. Hey man, how's life? How's business? How's things? Great. Keep in touch. We're going to the football game. We'll be at a tailgate. Join us there. Danny does the tailgating. So it's a community thing. Hey, join us at the tailgate. Be my guest. Come on over. We have food and drinks. I personally have set somebody up on a smart plan. A neighborhood smart plan. I met them at a football game. Honestly, it was the Danny Roth football game that he invited me to. I met another friend of mine who was there with her boyfriend and her boyfriend's best friend. I met the boyfriend and the best friend. I sold a house to the boyfriend and sold the best friend's house. The best friend I put on a smart plan, a neighborhood drip for months. Never heard from him again. Called him, texted him, emailed him, nothing. No response, nothing. Total ghost. Thought he hated me. Out of the blue, I got a call. Hey, Dan, it's Mikey. I got your email in the neighborhood. It looks like the values are going up. I think it's time to sell. That was 6244 South Elizabeth Drive. I went and signed the listing in September. We sold it in November. I think it was November. Yeah, November, because he took forever to get it on the market. $6,000 from an email campaign. But it all started with the prospecting. It started with me going to a community event, networking and talking to people, getting their contact information, and then gaining their trust in the long term. The boyfriend's ass, his name is Matt. I sold him a $350,000 house in the north side. They were working with another agent. I actually was in the market, the dealership she worked at, and gave her a hug, said, hey, what's going on with Matt? You said he was looking to buy a house soon. She's like, oh, he's working with an agent. I'm so sorry. I was like, that sucks, but I get it. Tell him good luck. If you need something, give me a call. Well, that agent completely botched it. And Matt fired that agent, called me up, and 2 weeks later was under contract in his dream house. Again, all because I got his contact information and I followed up. Actually, I didn't even get his contact. I only had hers. But I happened to see her when I was at an event, and I asked about him and told her, hey, do me a favor, relay my information to him. Or if you give me his contact, I'll help him out. And out of the blue, he calls me up and says, hey, I'd love to meet and talk. Prospecting-based, marketing enhanced. You never know where you're going to find deals, and they are literally everywhere. They're in line at the grocery store. They're in line at Starbucks. They're the kid that's taking your order at Dunkin' Donuts. His mom and dad are thinking about buying a house in Sedona. Don't prejudge anything. The opportunities are there for you. All right, we're deep diving into prospecting methods. The four we're going to focus on right now: door knocking, agent-to-agent referral, open houses, and social media. Raise your hand if you ever tried to use any of these prospecting methods.
Social media.
Okay. Tell me what you did and what results did you get?
I've had a lot of interaction on my posts when I take and I have my page, and from my page I share it to different groups, and I get a lot of interactions. I've gotten buyers from looking at, maybe they weren't buying the house that I was listing, but you know, they were buying or interested in buying, and then I kind of nurtured that relationship and helped them find a lender, and it turned into closing a deal with them. So.
I like it. Okay, someone else, something different. Have you done door knocking, agent referrals, or open houses?
I've done open houses, but I didn't really get very many people that came to open houses. I got one couple that I tried getting them pre-approved, but they refused to get pre-approved because they said they had money coming in, but I haven't heard anything from them since. I've just been trying to keep contact with them.
Okay, I like it. So it gives you opportunity to follow up. How about someone, other one, Sarah, with your social media, what are you seeing on your posts and such?
As well, you know what? So I used an open house to, and I post on my live, and they love it. Like, especially when you have houses that have things that are weird or, you know, whatever, they love that kind of stuff. So you get tons of people who will respond. And, you know, not all the time do you get their contact information, but several people I've been able to just, now we're just friends on Instagram. I had somebody reach out to me for a rental. So it was really nice. But yeah, I use my open house on social media and it works out really well.
There you go. Some of my experiences in door knocking is, I'm going to talk about all of them so you guys know. Door knocking, open house stuff, been super impactful because you get your face and name associated to a community you're in all the time. No one's really talked about the agent-to-agent referrals, and this is where I think you guys can really build a good key relationship in real estate. Everybody has been from somewhere. Raise your hand if you're Tucson native. Okay. Do you have family members that live out of state? Go make relationships in those key markets, so that when you're prospecting your family, in where's your family member live, Desiree?
In Bakersfield, California.
Okay, Bakersfield, California, 1.2 million people, huge community. Do you think they know somebody in that community looking to buy or sell a house?
Probably.
So if you tell them, hey, I can still help you anywhere, and you communicate and you have an agent in Bakersfield, because again, that's going to be one of your hubs of referrals, then it's very easy. Hey, Linda, my mom found another one, or I don't know who they are in Bakersfield, but that you can have that key relationship there already set up. Then you have agent-to-agent referrals. Do you think people from California are moving to Tucson?
Yes.
They absolutely are. We were rated as one of the most inexpensive places in the world to live. Not the world, the United States, but that's my world. Agent referrals is huge. Most people forget that you got friends and family outside of outside of Tucson. Create relationships in those communities because you're going to have opportunities in those communities. A seller of mine moved to Tennessee. When he moved to Tennessee, he's like, hey, Dan, we're looking for a house in Clarksville. Okay, so I called an agent in Clarksville. Made a friend with Alan. He owns a team there. Well, we didn't find anything they liked. They got a deal. They got another offer in Charleston or something. I don't know. Tennessee's got a lot of weird similar names, but like 200 miles away, but in Tennessee. I called Alan up again. Hey, Alan, they're not moving to Clarksville. They're moving to Charleston. Do you have anyone there? And Alan's like, actually, yeah, I've got a team member there, and we can help them there too. So we found them a house. They closed on it. I got a referral fee. I got $1,500 for making that phone call. I called him he texted me the other day because I sent out an ornament, as I do every year, my Christmas gift to them. He texted me, hey man, thanks for the ornament. And I asked him, how's life going for you? What's going on? He's like, I'm still looking for a job. We had an opportunity that we may be moving to Ohio. I was like, oh yeah, where at? Why am I asking where at?
So that you can get another referral fee.
Because I am going to make sure that when he lets me know what area he's at, I already have an agent picked out. because he's already trusted me once to do this. So when he moves to Ohio, again, I'm going to make sure he's got an agent that is prepped, ready, and able to help in the highest manner. Now, on the other side, Alan has had 2 people move to Phoenix. Who do you think he called first?
You.
Even though I'm not in Phoenix, it's 2 hours away, 200 miles away, same situation. He's like, well, if I had somebody, Dan probably has somebody. And I do. I have an agent in Phoenix. It happens to be another PC coach, but another referral partner, agent referral. Even though I'm not getting paid on it, I'm giving it to Ellen so that when Ellen has a Tucson connect, it goes to me. She doesn't even think about it. This is the agent-to-agent referral network you can create within Keller Williams by simply going into Command. If you guys haven't seen this, by going into Command, and you click on your referrals tab right here. There's Alan right there. 1 referral, Nashville, Tennessee area. And you can go searching for referrals by clicking on the map. So we said Bakersfield, right?
Yeah.
All the green are Keller Williams deals. Now, what part of Bakersfield?
I'm not sure. It's a small area. I don't even know. It's been forever since I've been there.
Okay, it's in Panama, right? Or Gosford.
Sure.
We're going to get to Gosford. Here's all your agents. If you want to search by a different result, go closed units, highest closed units. Buyers sold. Listings sold. Or random. And then you can click on the down drop. They've done 4 deals in this area. 31 closed units, 11 listings sold, 19 buyers for $9.3 million. So you can make a connection with January Lau. Hey, January, my name's Desiree. I got an aunt and uncle who live in your area that I constantly get referrals from. I'd love to know more about you, and hopefully you and I can create a relationship that I can send my referrals to you. And if you ever have someone moving to the Tucson area, I can be your trusted source. Is that prospecting?
Definitely.
Before this conversation, have you ever thought about that? You can find business in any direction you want to go. Agent-to-agent referrals. I want you to pay off your company cap in referrals alone. Agents do it. And that's going to be huge because creating relationships in the communities you have loved ones is impactful because it then gives you credit for your loved ones to send you referrals still. Like Jacob's got an aunt in, was it Ohio?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Didn't want to use them. My boyfriend's in real estate. I don't need this. And you're too young. I don't need anything. All of a sudden she comes up and says, well, yeah, maybe can you help me find somebody?
Yeah.
Stay in there. Open houses, fantastic. You guys are going to learn a ton about that. It's one of the best ways to build a database and get some more hot leads. You've got a good mix between people that are hot on the trot looking to buy something and those that are kind of looking for down the line. But it's a great place to meet people. I've sold a lot. Like my first 2 deals were off open houses. And then social media. Social media is the catalyst for a lot of your businesses, but I don't want you to play in just posting house stuff, posting this, posting that. I want you to be real. Showcase your life. Showcase who you are. Showcase why they would choose you as a realtor. You have ethics and morals and a higher standard. And people will do business with people they know and like. And it's very easy for them to know and like you when you align with them. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you are on, stay away from it on social media.
Right.
Because there is one way to ruin any further chance of a relationship with somebody than understanding that y'all have different political beliefs, especially right now. If you're a Trump lover, great. Keep it to yourself. If you love Biden, great. Keep it to yourself. Because I can tell you, you will wind up pissing off a potential client simply because of that. And that's the condition you're in right now. If you want to polarize yourself and create that element, go look at Mark Obanoff. He's an agent at KLP. He's very public about his beliefs, and I can tell you he has lost business because of it. When you're in real estate, you're always on display. I'm sure you can imagine who I side with in politics. I'm sure you can assume what my beliefs are. But the thing is I'm not throwing it in your face. I'm not creating an element of distaste, and I'm not creating boundaries from people. That way, everybody feels comfortable coming to me and talking to me about real estate, about life, about their family and stuff like that. I'm your friend. And by doing so, I've opened up that channel in my social media where I can have different sides. I can be a part of different conversations without having to draw a line in the sand. Because once you draw a line in the sand, your subconscious will keep you there. You will subconsciously destroy opportunities to create rapport because of it. And it's sad to say that the political and religious beliefs of people will keep them from siding with you. Unfortunate, but true. I want to give you guys that warning now. Also, on your social media, it is being tracked by the ethics committee. If you get reported, you could lose your license over something stupid on social media. So heed my warning when I tell you, be careful what you post. Be current, be entertaining, be engaging. Don't be polarizing. I know it's great for shock value and having all types of people out there like fighting on your page, but it puts a bad taste in people's mouths. I'm not telling you how to run your business. I'm just telling you how you keep your license. Because all you need is one Karen to go, I didn't like what Desiree posted, or Steven said this on a comment, and take it out of context and report you to ADRE. And they're like, we've had too much. We're not dealing with it. Sever. It happens all the time. We've severed 3 agents this year because of a social media post. It's dumb, but so. All right, approach to door knocking. Pretty simple. Door knocking and its benefits. It'll help jumpstart your business. You can promote your business by talking to potential clients and providing them the chance to promote open houses, community events, stuff, literally all over the spectrum that you could do. It allows you the face-to-face contacts. You can build a farm. You guys know what I mean by a farm? So a farm is an area that you're constantly going to be nurturing. People remember who you are the more constant you are. It's your ability to enhance your prospecting with marketing. Not always required, but it's good because they've met you, they know you, they've heard your message, and now you market to them and follow up. So who's going to do door knocking soon? Or who has done door knocking? Okay. What are your concerns?
I want to talk. It terrifies me, but now that the thought of like searching for volunteer, you know what I mean? Community opportunities, that genuinely like makes me feel a whole heck of a lot better.
Good.
I don't think anybody wants us to go to their house. That's like my thing. So, because I know I don't want them coming to my house.
I'm scared that I'm gonna go to someone's house and they get mad at me and be like, "Oh, you have COVID. Get off my doorstep," or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about too.
Knock on the door, take a step back, 6 feet back.
Okay.
More people are okay with that than you think. If they answer
And then
the
if
door in
they-
a hazmat suit, now you know.
Knocking?
Go
And
ahead.
I would assume having a flyer in hand with all the information to hand over is a must. Yes.
It's good to have. I mean, you're giving a value, you're giving us something. I love having 3-fold papers, the pamphlet looking things instead of just a piece of paper because it looks sloppy, but a 3-fold for some reason just looks cleaner, and you can slide it in their door. So
Okay.
I was going to do the door hangers and then just step back 6 feet. And that way, if they're really quick and not interested, I can be like, well, there's some information there on the door if you need it. Thanks. Have a great day.
right. But the goal of door knocking is to get contact information and follow up with them.
You're right.
You have their address, you're just hoping to get their name and phone number. So right now it's kind of a weird time and place to be door knocking, but it's good to have a script involved. So one thing I'll give you the script I've used is I knock in my neighborhood, and I knock in neighborhoods I do a lot of business. I'll knock on the door, take a step back, smile, be approachable, say, hey, thank you so much for, giving me some of your time today. My name is Big Dan Caldwell. You probably don't know who I am. I do a lot of business in the area, and I just have an open house that's coming up on the market this weekend. Or I just listed a house down the street, and I was wondering if you knew anyone else that was showing signs of wanting to sell their home. There's easy conversations, but it all starts out with something. Hey, my name is Big Dan Caldwell, Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. You probably don't know who I am. I do a lot of business in this area. And then sometimes, like, oh yeah, I've seen your postcard, or oh yeah, you live down the street, or oh yeah, I saw your sign. Even if they don't even see your sign, they'll lie to you and make you think they have. They will. People are weird. Because they'll remember there was a sign, but they won't remember who it was. My favorite thing to do is to door knock around long realty signs. Hey, my name is Big Dan Caldwell, Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. I don't know if you know this or not. There's a house down the street that just went up for sale. And I'd want to know if you know anyone in the area that was looking to either get out of a rental and buy a house, or if you knew somebody in your friends and family that would want to live next to you. So
That's a new one.
Pick your neighbors. Do you know anyone that wants to live next to you? Kind of thing. Actively listen. Or you can, who's showing signs of wanting to sell? Here's a good one. You're door knocking. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, my name is Big Dan Caldwell. I'm with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. You probably don't know who I am. I'm in the area just trying to find an opportunity for my buyers. We got beat out on a deal down the street. We're looking for a home. Who do you know in this neighborhood who has the know on everything? Who's the nosy neighbor that can tell me who's looking to sell their house so that I can get my clients a home? Does every neighborhood have the nosy neighbor?
Yes.
Every neighborhood has that one person that knows everything.
I live next to her.
And you probably get the, oh, you mean Cheryl.
Yes.
Yeah, where's Cheryl? Cheryl's house is the one with the red roof. Okay. Why do you say it like that? And then you'll probably make them laugh. Hey, it's been great talking to you. I would love to stay in touch. Do you mind if I get your phone number? Okay, tell me your email. Hey, if ever you come across somebody needing something in real estate, I would hope that you'd keep my information, keep me in mind. Thank you so much. Look forward to talking to you again. And then go to Cheryl's house. Hey, Cheryl, your friend down the street said that you were the one in the know. Bolster their ego. I hear that you know everything about this neighborhood. You're the one to talk to. You think you're going to make them feel good? They're going to give you more information. All right, Cheryl, I need your help. You're the one that knows everything in this neighborhood. I got a buyer that is desperate to live in this neighborhood. We got beat on a deal down the street. Oh, you mean the Jones's house? It sold for $450,000. I know, it was on the market for like 20 minutes. Yeah, it was pretty insane. Who do you know that's showing signs of wanting to sell? Oh, you should probably go talk to Miss Cindy and her husband, Jeff. I think they're getting a divorce. They've been yelling a lot. The kids are out. There was a moving truck there the other day. I think they might be wanting to sell their house. Okay, which house was that? Oh, it's 4206. It's that one with the green tree in the front yard. Oh, okay. You think I'm making this shit up? It happens. You want to know something funny? Jason is that person. Jason is the Cheryl of the neighborhood. Jason knows everything about everybody in his neighborhood.
My nickname in this block is that am I the mayor or the governor of this little area that I live in? Because I can tell you every person's occupation, what they do, what vehicles they have. In fact, yesterday, somebody was looking at an RV next door to my house, and I went outside, and they're like, "Oh, it's good to see that you're out making sure that our neighborhood is okay."
But seriously, those people are there, and you boasted. Hey, he got proud of me telling him that. But they do. Like, I was in his neighborhood, and one of his neighbors has a lifted truck. It's just like mine. I want to lift. I was like, I'm gonna do that. Jason's like, oh, he hates it. Terrible turn radius. He bought it that way. He's hated it every day. And I was like, okay, like, but you get the person that knows everything about that neighborhood, make them your friend. I'm not asking you to be Jason, but that's just his personality type, but at least know that person. Like Sarah said it, she's my neighbor. Clearly, y'all don't have a good relationship. Or if you do, she annoys the shit out of you. Go make friends with her. She will make you business. Lots and lots of monies. Especially in your neighborhood. You know what I'm talking about, girl. Come on. I'm giving you guys these pearls to take and utilize. Strategic partnerships, and you hear me use that term a lot, your key relationships, your strategic partnerships will make your business easier. The Cheryl in the neighborhood will make your life. When she calls you up and said, Mr. and Mrs. Jones are getting a divorce, they said that they're looking for a realtor. I gave them your name. Do you mind? No, not at all. Thank you so much. And then send her a gift card to Starbucks. Find out what she likes to drink. Next time you're in the neighborhood, bring her the caramel mocha frappuccino bullshit. Make her happy. Can you do that? Can you make friends to become your cheerleader to get you more business? You want to know something? My mom is the Cheryl of her neighborhood. You know why my mom is the Cheryl of the neighborhood? Because of me. Because she wants to see me succeed. So she goes and asks all the questions about every house in that neighborhood and talks to people. Oh, you got to meet my baby boy. She calls me her baby boy. I'm 6'3" and 320 pounds. This is my baby boy. He's in real estate. Mom, I'm 34. Stop. But she does. It's my baby boy. And I've sold houses because of it, because my mom. Again, strategic partnerships. I actually pay my mom. My mom wants to go to the salon. She gets to go to the salon. My mom wants a new purse. She gets a new purse. I spoil the shit out of my mom because my mom has helped me make thousands of dollars. You guys can do that with your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your husbands, your wives, your kids, your neighbors, everything. The neighbor across the street from my house is the Cheryl in my neighborhood. His name is Will. Will tells me everything, things I don't want to know. But I make it a point to let Will know that I think about him, that I care about him. I invite him over when we're doing stuff. I invite him and his wife to come hang out or go to dinner or something. They never go, but at least I invite them. Will has given me 3 deals. I've lived in the neighborhood for 8 months.
Wow.
So door knocking is not just to find a solution in that moment. It's also to find that Cheryl. And if you guys have a Cheryl in your family, I'm not just bagging on the name. It was just the first name that popped up. It may be a Kathy. It's probably more accurate. But we've got Will's, Jason's, and Kathy. And Judy's. So we're going to take a break right now, guys. I'd love to see you guys back here. And can you do 9 minutes? Let's see at 10:20. We'll get this thing wrapped up on the way. But I want you to start thinking about in your neighborhoods who you need to talk to. How long has it been since you've actually talked to your neighbors? And do you know who your neighbors are? Because how pissed off are you going to be when you walk out the front door one day to go to work and there's a yard sign from another business right next door?
I'm going to be pissed.
So I'll see you guys back here at 10:20.
I don't know any of my neighbors.
Fix it. Heather, what are you doing to that poor kid?
We're playing, and he rewarded me by yanking my hair. Hi.
Okay.
Are you a monster? You're a monster.
All right, it is 10:20. We're jumping back into things. So if you could, please turn your cameras on. Love to see your beautiful faces. And Stephen.
Why, thank you, sir.
We've kind of already beaten this one a lot, the agent-to-agent referrals. One thing you can do to further harness that is once you make the prospecting attempt, so calling them, making the connection, the marketing avenue to that is sending them an email quarterly on the Tucson market, what's happening, what's going on in your life, kind of staying in touch, but also put them on your DTD2 stuff. Doing the database 2 times, tag them as part of your database, just following up. Hey, how's business? How's life? A guy named Bubba Clement, he is an agent for the Team Integrity in Phoenix. He was my main resource up there. He calls me out of the blue and says, hey, Big D, what's going on? How's life? What are you happening? And then he said, I noticed that I haven't gotten very many referrals from you lately. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I totally forgot about you. And I was like that honest. She's like, oh, you did? I was like, I'm sorry, man. I really did. This person, I gave him the name, calls me every month, checks on me, sees how I'm doing. He's like, wow, that stings, bud. That really hurts. I was like, that's the honest truth. Because he was my go-to, and then someone else slipped in. So doing the same thing, make sure that you are the point of contact, and they're your point of contact. So that's what they call maintaining it. And then you could do so in command by sending, retrieving, broadcasting referrals, and doing map searches. Playing with this a little bit more, you guys will get an understanding. Like, give me another city or town.
San
Santa
Bernardino.
Clarita.
All right, Heather started first.
Yeah.
Miss Hanson, where?
San Bernardino, California.
How do you San Bernardino?
San.
And SAN
San.
space Bernardino, not sand.
S-A-N. There you go.
When I tell you guys I barely graduated high school, I'm not lying. I mean, I graduated with honors at 3.5 GPA, but whatever. I can't spell.
It's not for everybody. Yeah. My husband never read a book at all in all of high school or college. So you're fine.
I talked myself out of my finals, believe that or not. So you can see tons of opportunity, right? Let's find it. We're doing a lot in California. This is my hometown. Yeah, my hometown is half the size of the Marana exit. And there's that many deals from Keller Williams agents, okay? Just saying.
What about Ouray, Colorado? Ouray.
All right, Ouray. Right there. You got Becky out of Grand Junction. This is where I used to live in Colorado. Oh, look at all that. Keystone, Breckenridge, all kinds of deals. 77 deals in Breckenridge, 69 of them in one location. I can tell you that that's a giant home, so. $51.6 million in production. Average deal is $848. Wouldn't you love to be in that community? Milk costs $5 a gallon, just saying. So go play with this, meet people. You can add them to your referral by clicking this. Would you like to send an invitation? Then send them a message. Hey, I got family members in your area. I used to live there. I would love to be your referral partner for Tucson. I would like to make you my referral partner for blank.
I just
lived there
did
for 5 years or so.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My ex-husband. My ex-husband has to buy a house, so I just did this. Actually, probably like 10 minutes ago. So it was actually her name's Shelby from West Palm Beach.
I can spell those words.
Yeah.
Same thing. Spelling it right, Shelby.
Yeah, Shelby, Shel.
Oh, like the car.
Yes. Yeah, what is her name? Shelby Seidler, SEI. There we go.
Right there.
Yep.
The home team, 17 million, averages 253. Done 35 listings, 32 buy sides, 29 in this area. That's a good pick.
I thought so too.
We're just showing you how you guys can really get a lot of information on referral agents, patterns and stuff is really cool. So now let's go into, I don't have anyone in these areas. Let's look at referral patterns. We can see patterns that are coming in. We're going to go to received. Oh, it's not loading right now. Well, that was a bust. Maybe it'll load on yours, but go into your command, go to referrals, go to map, click on referral patterns, and you'll be able to see, usually it'll do the patterns. It'll see them coming and going, and you'll know what communities we've got a lot of referrals coming from. So go make agent friends in those areas as well. This gives you people to prospect and build to. So I'm not sure why it's not working. That's enough about that. Open houses. We're going to talk more about that, like I said, on Thursday, but preparing for your open house is important. You know, why are open houses such a great opportunity?
meet people that are actually looking to buy their new house.
Yeah.
You add people to your database in the
Yeah.
areas that you're wanting to work in.
There you go. Database in the areas you want to work. That's awesome. People, or even people that are thinking about moving to those areas, because if they live across town, they're doing an open house on the other side of the neighborhoods, then you may assimilate that they're thinking about it. Okay, what else? Why are open houses a great lead generation opportunity?
Puts you in people's mind as an agent that goes out and works for them when it comes to selling a house.
All right, perfect.
These people have already been pre-called. They're actively looking at real estate or thinking about it, so you have something in common.
Exactly. That's what I was looking for. People that are going to open houses are typically already thinking about real estate. Very few people just stop in at an open house because we all live very busy lives. Who's going to be like, you know what, honey, we're bored. Let's go look at open houses. Unless you're my mom and she does it for designing and decoration ideas. Most people that go to open houses are going to be going for some reason or purpose, which is great because it gives you the opportunity to be in front of them while they're thinking about that prospect. So awesome. So are open houses expensive to do?
No.
No, not at all. They are very inexpensive and often have a great return on your investment. What's your investment for an open house?
A few hours of time.
Few hours of time, just a time investment. Heavy prospecting, time intense, instant results. Right. Important on the open houses is to get some good contact information and follow up. Why do we follow up?
Because most of your business is in the follow-up.
Okay, what's the term?
Marketing.
Alliteration. The fortune was in the follow-up.
There you go.
The fortune was in the follow-up. So guys, go ahead and turn to page 7 on your participation guides. We didn't really use this to fill in stuff, but you can go back and fill in the information. But 7 is where you're doing you can leverage promotional materials like flyer signs and stuff that you can get from Command to implement those. But 7 gives you kind of a rough outline of what to do before an open house. So who, action, and how. So we're going to call database, nearby neighbors, nearby renters, invite them to the open house, ask for other referrals of people that may want to come. We're going to call, email, text, do social media, do door knocking. The open house is the event that we can prospect to. While you're in the open house, you can fill in your database, getting face-to-face with visitors, collecting contact information, general prospecting. Again, neighbors are going to come in. You're going to ask that same question. Who do you know in the neighborhood that is in the know? Who do you know that knows everything about the neighborhood? Who do you know that's been showing signs of wanting to sell a house? Or who do you know that's renting that would love to make this their permanent home? That's a great question to ask too. Everyone knows somebody that knows everything, so find that person. And then you're going to talk, build rapport, ask questions about them. You know, how long have you been in the community? How much time have you invested in remodeling? Or, you know, what are your plans for the future? What do you like about the community? What do you hate about the community? What's a secret you can tell me that other people may not know? And people love to give their input. Hey, tell me what you think about the house. What would you change? Talking and having questions, and Tracy's going to go a lot more in depth on this. But then afterwards, your face-to-face visitors after the house, you're going to follow up with gaining appointments, adding them to your database, filling in the information, knowing that you met them in an open house at what day, what time, what neighborhood. So you can say, hey, I met you at the open house 3 weeks ago on the corner of Shannon and McGee. You know, you were wearing that really colorful, you know, polka dot dress or whatever. And then call, email, text, do handwritten postcards, add them to a smart plan. There's no different. Meeting somebody in an open house is no different than just adding somebody to your database to follow up with them later on. Any questions about all that? Is it pretty simple?
How do you go about doing an open house on somebody else's listing?
So you can do any Keller Williams agents that allow you to do their listing. So you can go into your MLS. So are we sharing on my screen? I'll show you how to go here. So right here, share. As I get logged in. You're going to want to use your own login, of course. Right here at the top, Flex MLS. It's going to give us the opportunity to look at the Flex MLS. So under menu, you'll click on it. You'll have all the other functions that are part of your MLS, so make sure you're familiar with them. But over on the right-hand side under search, you can go into company listings, office listings, or my listings. Company listings is going to give you all the listings in Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. The problem with that is you're going to get a ton of rentals. So what you can do is you can sort by type, go find the house that's interesting. Like here's lands and lots and stuff like that. You can't really sort it out, unfortunately, by like removing some things. It's just going to give you every listing in Keller Williams. But you want to go and find something that you can hold open by just calling up and say, hey, this house is vacant. Can I show it? Especially if they're active. If they're active contingent, not so much. So that's how you look for listings and other things. Another thing you can do is go to the hot sheet. Look for residential stuff. You can create your own search, but go over here and look at the hot sheet and see which one's Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Painted Pueblo and Vale just came live. Danny Roth. Call them up. Said, hey, do you have anyone holding the open house on this house? Would you mind if I did it? Or you can do this one, Jeremiah Taylor. Same thing. These are listings that just hit the market. Another one. Can I do an open house? You'll notice that Keller Williams is a long name, so you can just go quickly and see. Kelly Morgan, 398,000. Are you getting the point?
Yep.
So go look and search and see what pops up. If you're the first person to pick up the phone and say, hey, I see you got a new listing. It looks awesome. Are you guys holding open houses? Can I run them for you? So that's how you get open houses.
Good to know.
Good to know. Or you want something cool? Go to the local builders in your area and ask them, hey, do you mind if I run an open house in some of your models? Or do you mind if I do you have any properties you'd like me to hold an open house in? And go create a relationship with a builder, a key relationship, and do an open house for them.
I thought we're only allowed to do open houses for Keller Williams
And builders.
and builders. All right.
And builders. So they're a different animal altogether.
So my papa builds houses. I can do open houses for him.
If you want to. All right, is he a builder?
Yes.
Don't make it difficult. But open houses, you want to prepare for them. You want to prospect during, after, and before, and then you want to pursue. Follow up. Why do we follow up?
Oh, I keep forgetting it. Something is in the follow-up.
The fortune is in
Thank
the
you.
follow-up. The fortune was made in the follow-up. Fortune, follow-up. Fortune, follow-up. Follow-up equals fortunes. Yeah. All right, adding context, follow-up, stay top of mind. So you want to add your contacts, add tags, add them to cultivate phasers, add them to a smart plan. Do we need to go over how to add contacts? Do we need to go over how to add smart plans?
What do you mean add them to cultivate phase? What's that?
Okay. Contacts. Come on. Let's see if this one popped in there for me. They must be doing it up. They do updates in command on Tuesdays. So if you ever find out it's running slow, they're probably doing an update. So when you're adding them in, it'll give you, sorry, we just created a new one then. So when you're adding somebody in, you add as a lead, add to your pipeline. You create all of the information, but it's this here is when you're adding them. Your lead source, mark as a lead or add to sales pipeline. When you add them to sales pipeline, it makes you, when you're inputting them, where they're at, cultivate, not cultivate stuff. So if there's an opportunity to be had, create it. But that's all it is, just adding them to your pipeline here. But always make sure you add tags so you can find them real easy. I don't know what that is. Cool. But it's all to keep you top of mind. Like we talked about a couple of times today, where I have replaced people because someone else has become top of mind to me. Were you guys on the PC call where I talked about Rigo Pest being replaced my best friend's husband that I've known for 20 years? I've known Rigo for a year just because he stays in touch with me and stays in contact with me. So. Open houses, we're not going to dive a lot into this because I'm going to let Tracy run into it. So you have to stand out in your open house, just like you have to stand out in everything else. Why do you think it's important to stand out?
Stay
They need
top
to
of
remember
mind.
you.
It's how they remember you. You just got to stay top of mind. Are they only going to go to one open house that day?
Maybe not.
Maybe, maybe not. More than likely, no, they're going to go to a couple of them, and they're going to meet a couple of agents. How do we make sure that we are the ones they remember?
Follow up.
Follow up.
Stand up.
Show up. When you're there, stand out. Give a gift. Be engaging. Be knowledgeable. Be exciting. Have good energy. These are all things you can definitely do to help out. So, you know, hosting a speaker or a general contractor or a banker or some kind of loan officer there, if your open house will help, like having another point there to add value. You can offer a gift, hold a raffle. Actually, we can't do that in Arizona because it's called a game of chance. Can't happen. You can do, you know, house scavenger hunts within the house. Tell me when you find this, this, and this. Like, set it up, make it fun, be creative. You know, get your open house in showing shape. So have a cleaning kit in your car, like, you know, Clorox wipes, some Dawn dish soap, or some Windex. When you guys are at an open house and it looks gross, and clean it. I can't tell you how many houses I've wiped down the banisters. I've wiped down the handrails because the kids just make them gross. And when parents live in the house, they learn to deal with it. But if you see it when you walk in, and it just looks gross and feels gross, take 5 minutes and wipe it down, makes a world of difference. It smells good, it looks good, it'll sell good. Go live on your social media. When I say go live, does that scare you? Who is afraid of doing a live video on Facebook? Raise your hand. What is it about that makes you uncomfortable?
If I mess up, it'll be embarrassing and everyone will see that.
Okay. Sarah, what about you?
You know, the same exact thing, but I've realized because I do it, I make myself do it because that's how people get to know you online. Like if they're only going to look online, that's how they get to know you. So, but the more you do it, the more you realize they don't they don't care. I was going to say something else, but I don't think I can. They don't care. They don't care as much as you think they do at all.
They don't care at all. Live videos are very forgiving. Most people that watch it live aren't forgetting the mistakes. Go ahead, Letha.
The idea of getting up there and stuttering, I guess, trying to get my way through it, and I end up not clearly getting to the point.
There you go. So just like anything else, you want to prepare. When you're doing a live video, you want to prepare for it. You want to think about what you're going to say. You're going to practice it a couple of times and then go live. It's definitely a conditioned response to be comfortable doing that situations. But what can you do in your live? What are you going to do when you do a live video and open house? What's the point?
So do you have to have permission to go live in somebody else's listing when you're doing an open house on somebody else's listing?
If there's furniture and stuff, I would definitely ask to make sure they're okay with it, but typically no, because it's the broker's listing. You represent the broker.
It's free marketing too. So they said no. I think that'd be kind of
I've
silly.
only ever had one say no video.
Yeah.
And it's because the house was full of extremely nice stuff.
So then what are you doing having an open house and if they have all their stuff out there for these strangers to case?
Open houses are different because when you're doing it, you're bringing in a certain clientele. They're being monitored and tracked and watched.
Mhm.
When it's online, it's there for everyone to see, and you don't know what kind of savory or unsavory people are going to see that. Be like, ooh, interesting.
Then you've got people studying it. Yeah. So
That's where it's at. But I have actually told my clients not to do certain things and not to do certain video posts because of it. And I've said, hey, if you're concerned, you need to put all this stuff away, lock it all up. So it's being cognizant of what could be and help out. So open houses are a great avenue. There's a ton of things you can do with them. Not just stay there in the open house and wait for people to come in. The open house is a great time for you to sit and prospect. Call people on the circle prospecting list. Call your database. Do your DTD 212s. Use open houses as the downtime needed to build your database. Utilize time you have so you're not having to do it later. If you're going to sit in an open house for 4 hours and there's nobody that shows up for 4 hours, what did you do for that 4 hours? You sat and wasted time, huh? Watched YouTube, watched Netflix, took a nap. So spend an hour and a half making database calls. Spend another hour and a half doing a live video or doing some video promos of the house or talking to the neighbors, doing a video outside, creating social media posts that you can use for the next couple of weeks. Utilize your downtime. Don't just sit and wait for someone to show up. All right, social media, we're going to spend a little bit of time on is selecting. You know, one thing is social media prospecting has become more important than ever. And why is that?
we're in a digital world.
Yeah, absolutely. And it allows you to instantaneously connect with potential clients like that. Anyone seen this on social media? Hey guys, I need a realtor. Boom, 400 people are tagged.
Yeah.
Right? Instantaneous. Hey guys, I need somebody to help me with my carpet install. Boom, 5 or 6 people tagged. Hey, I need a photographer. Boom, Sarah Kuhn tagged. Instantly connecting people to things. So if we have a good presence on social media, we can be the ones being tagged. Michael Whining, and we're going to use him because he just happened the other day. He sent me a text. He goes, dude, I just got tagged for a seller post. I'm going on a listing tomorrow, and I don't even know the guy that tagged me. They're friends on social media or somehow, and the guy saw somebody post, hey, I need a realtor to think about selling our house. And Mike was tagged by this guy, and that guy was enough of an influence on the original poster that she ignored everyone else and called Mike. Your social media will allow you to create relationships you don't even know you have. Again, why I harped on it before is not allowing yourself to become polarizing. Because if somebody loves you, somebody else hates you. It's impossible to make everybody like you. But I can tell you from experience, it is possible to get everyone to hate you. We need to be a resource for masses, not an idol for few. And there's some people out there on social media that do it for shock value, right? We all have a friend out there that posts stuff that's just outlandish. They're like, what are you thinking, man? I mean, I laughed, I commented on it, it was funny, but I'd never post that. Those are the things you want to stay away from, but know your audience also. So we're going to pick your social media channels. So selecting it, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all of these things to be used in your benefit anywhere that people congregate for social needs. So you guys can turn to page 11 in your participation guides. It'll have another resource for you. And this is where we're going to do selecting a social media strategy. You'll need to consider the following. What platforms you're going to use. And using all of them isn't ideal because you don't have that bandwidth. I would really challenge those that are more professional in nature. Chris, I'm looking at you. LinkedIn. The younger ones like Jacob, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Know your audience. These are, if you're in the middle like I am, you're both old and young at the same time, depending on how you wake up. I use it all. YouTube is being replaced by Facebook video, but YouTube is still a resource. You can post to YouTube and then embed it on Facebook. These are all things you can utilize, but you want to know your audience. A schedule for your posts. How often are you going to post? What are you going to brand? What's your message going to be? I'm a realtor, right? What is my message?
Your friend in real estate, I believe.
Right. I'm your friend in real estate. What do I do?
Sell real estate.
I change lives. Is that an easy message to understand? Is it easy to deliver? Hey guys, it's your friend in real estate, Dan Caldwell, Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Come to you live today from this open house that we're doing on the south side. It's beautiful. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 200 square feet. I can turn around and I'm in 3 different rooms at once. Come down, check me out, bring me a Bang energy drink, bring me a soda, whatever you do, bring me a high five. I'd love to see you. Come down and see me. It's easy to deliver. Come up with the same thing. What is your message? Annette Mukamerenzi, one of our new agents that barely speaks English. She speaks 7 languages and English is not her first. She came up with her own line. Your dream is my standard. Your dreams are my standards, or something like that. That's pretty cool. Adam at the Alpha team, I gave him this one when I was on his team. It's the Alpha team's turning dreams into driveways. They're quick and easy to deliver. What's your message? Simple stuff of what are your branding going to be? Your friend in real estate. Your friend in real estate was easy because I was your friend in the car business. Dick Nichols is the go-to guy. The go-to guy. Jason Carlton is your favorite realtor. Again, all simple, easy to deliver. I'm not going to tell you, because we go back to that conversation we had, was it Ignite 3, deliver your value proposition? Who spent some time afterwards thinking about what is my value proposition? What am I bringing? What am I delivering? Lisa Gonzalez, connecting your dreams to your reality. Heather Hansen, making the tough easy. These are simple things. So figure out what your branding is going to be. Create a social media presence for your business. Create a business page. If you guys do not have a Facebook business page or have upgraded your Instagrams to a business account or a creator account, you need to do so, because it gives you some very powerful analytics that you can utilize. Case in point, let's go look at mine. This is my Facebook. I am not responsible for what you see right now, because I have a lot of those friends and you're like, what is your problem? So right here, I go to my business page. Big Dan Caldwell, real estate agent. Actually need to put at Keller Williams. I need to fix that. So I can go into my posts and my engagements right here. I can see how many people were reached, how many engagements. 692 people reached. God, family, and then business. Shared decisions, shared success. 228 people reached, 2 engagements. By agents, for agents. I think this is the one my mom shared. 16 shares. Yeah, my mom shared it 16 times. A bunch of random stuff. 967 people engaged. But on your personal page, let's go to my personal page. We're gonna go and look at all my posts, right? Do I get any engagements? I got no engagement history. Like, I don't know how they're performing. The only way I can perform is knowing how many people have liked and commented.
So what number do you watch out of curiosity?
I look at the people reached.
Okay.
Because even if they don't engage, I know that they saw my face.
Okay. That's what I wondered, because I don't get a lot of engagement either, which is huge and what you need. But yeah. I wondered.
Engagement increases the reach.
Yep.
Like this one of those little videos I've been putting up. If somebody does that right there, it wouldn't be an engagement, but it would be somebody saw it. Even though they read it and didn't like it or anything like that, because these aren't super fancy things. They're just, but notice how my page is random. It's random thing, real estate thing, alcohol, real estate, house, real estate, funny real estate, Thanksgiving, a shock post that was designed to mess with people, but it's all over the place. My business page is actually where I post most of my stuff to. Gotta get back to the home. But when you go into it, you can see a lot more of your analytics, and it tells you what's going on, what you can do to boost it. You only get this insight with the business page. And you can have people follow your business page that don't follow your personal page. But it's important to have an online presence for both. So, like this, right? My kid is a big part of my life, so make the reasons you smile about stuff all random things. So share ideas, share results, share information about the market, share your expertise, create community around you. Create drafts of your post so you can schedule them later on. You guys, you know you can do that in Command? So in Command, under your campaigns, you can create, as soon as it loads, you can create campaigns for social media that are not paid for. You just do a social post. And you can pre-schedule it for whenever. And then you can actually go and see what's utilizing. This will show you what's scheduled to be posted for this week. I've got this one and this one. You can see what they're scheduled for. And then I've got one for Christmas already pre-scheduled. So I don't have to think about it. It's just going to go pop up on Christmas. And then I've got one for New Year's, right?
Are these posts or ads? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Post, just post. But I've got them pre-scheduled. Happy No More 2020 Day. It's just people are like,
That is so fantastic.
again, you can pre-schedule. Like I spent an hour and went and did all the major holidays, all the posts for all the major holidays. Now I'm relevant. I don't have to think about it. When Thanksgiving hit, I had a post up. When Christmas is here, I have a post up. When New Year's is here, I got a post up. I don't have to do it because I spent an hour. I thought about what I was going to do, and I went into designs, in Command, in designs, created a post for every one of those days. Did a small little tidbit. I used my own creativity style. Happy No More 2020 Day. Not Happy New Year's, No More 2020 Day. Bring on the next dumpster fire kind of thing. But these are things that you can build out. Like here was the week of Thanksgiving. I posted everything once per day. Don't be a turkey. Tell me what you're thankful for. Happy Thanksgiving. Someone commented on it. It got posted to my Facebook and my Twitter. I don't know my Twitter login anymore, but I can post to it through Command. This is the automation you guys need to utilize and create your business around it. You can pre-schedule posts for the entire week only on a business page. So set it and forget it. Also, think about who you're going to
So
target.
do you have to design those posts, or do they have design tools, or do they have like pre-designed posts, or what?
Design,
Oh, templates.
click new, social media, click next. This is a whole class on its own. I can share my social media app, Square. I can do for sale for buyers, for sale for listings, wide, Square, stories. I can be your local expert, which has a lot of great stuff in it. Wide, Square, for stories. Do it for buyers, Keller Mortgage, lead generation for your home value. All you got to do is literally save it, change the DBA on it, and use it in your campaign. But they're all right here. Lead generation, holiday greetings. I believe we're in Hanukkah now. Merry Christmas. All these things you can post. You can have it scheduled to post, or you can download and use it as a post right now. Just download it to your computer and post it to your story or something like that. But it keeps you from having to create it all. It's all right here. Right? So we try to take the thinking out of it, make it easier for you. But social media is a really good place for you to create community around yourself, create communications, engage, but you want to also engage in other things. So put it on your calendar to do a social media post every day. Spend 20 minutes on social media, commenting, messaging, interacting, direct messaging people to create community around you and social media. That they may be friends with yours on social media, but they're not friends with you in your phone. You had never met them. Because how would you feel if someone tagged you in a post on one of their friends' websites saying, "Hey, I need to sell my house. Who do you know?" Bam, Chris Rainey. He's the go-to guy. And Chris is all, "I don't even know who Tom Thompson is, but I'm going to call this guy." It's all about creating the community around yourself. So take action, be consistent, but be engaging. 80-20. 80% of your posts need to be real estate, need to be lifestyle, not real estate. 20% need to be real estate. Show them that you're a real person, you're a human being, not just a machine that sells houses. Sold, 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 open house, open house, open house. And the cool thing is you can market the same property multiple ways. You can do under contract. Hey, congratulations, the new buyers are under contract. Now we go into inspection day. Oh, my favorite time of day, inspection day. Then we can do closing. So you get 3 posts out of 1 deal. It makes it look like you're doing 3 different deals. You got a seller, same thing. Coming soon. Listed. Under contract. Inspection day. Move out day. Closing. So you can definitely stretch an opportunity to multiple posts. All right. See what's working, see what's not. Repeat what's working, change what's not. Make it easy, but you have to be able to track it. So if you don't have a business page, go create one. If you need help one creating, let me know. We can do it together. And then engage with people. Notice the people that are always commenting or liking or sharing or engaging in your posts, and make sure that those people are in your database. If you don't have their information, get their information, put them in your database. They need to become part of your VIPs because clearly they're already your cheerleaders. There are already people out there that are engaging, liking, and following the stuff that you content. So make sure that they're part of your following. So social media, again, 20% business, 80% person. Take action and develop a plan. You know, now that you understand how to the variety of prospecting methods and time to revisit how to get purpose. So now that you know the prospecting methods, I want to revisit how we can do it purposefully. Because we go back to the first couple of slides, and when you're lead generating, you're prospecting, you need to do it with purpose. What does that mean? If you're
Looking
doing it
for
with
those
purpose,
results.
you're doing it to get results, right? You're not doing it just to check off the box. Check, I did my lead generation for the day. Check, I made 20 phone calls to the same person. I called Domino's 15 times. Check. No, we're doing it with purpose because we want to generate an opportunity from it. And what's the metrics? How many contacts do we need to get a closing? It started with a 1, ended with 20.
120.
120 contacts to close. Again, I asked you, if I told you, if you need to make 10 contacts a day to make $80,000 a year, you'd do it. Or 20 contacts a day to make $160,000 a year, you'd do it, right? Stephen was all excited to say, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So there it is. Do you have 10 people to talk to every day? Nope. Well, that's where lead generation comes in. We need to fill the pipeline so we can have those 10 conversations or 20 conversations a day. So Gary Keller put in The Millionaire Real Estate Agent that he says that 90% of your business are coming from the top 5 of your lead generation sources or less. I want you to focus on 3. What 3 lead generation levers can you utilize right now to help you build your database? And go. Pick one.
Open house.
Open houses. Okay, there's one. Who else is doing open houses?
Contacts.
Contacts. Getting more referrals from contacts.
Door
What's the
knocking.
third one you can use?
Door knocking.
Door knocking. I'm surprised none of you said social media. You asked a lot of questions about it. Is social media a prospecting avenue?
Absolutely.
If it's done with purpose. I can't stress the word purpose enough. If we're not doing it with purpose, we're doing it for pleasure and play. And education without implementation is entertainment. Prospecting without purpose is pleasure and play. Even if you're talking to somebody for the first time, make a connection, ask for business. So, based on a recent survey of Keller Williams teams conducted, that the top lead generation sources in the MREA were referrals. So agent to agent referrals we talked about, that's big. Your sphere of influence, non-referral, being just keeping in touch with your sphere of influence. Repeat business, purchasing leads, which is more of a marketing aspect. So you're paying Zillow, you're paying another company to get leads to follow up on. And yard signs, signs in the ground, generate a lot of leads. Out of those, the ones that you can do right now that's really going to help you benefit is going to be your sphere of influence, referrals, and repeat business. Pardon me a second. Sorry, I had to tell a client, quit calling me. I was on a call. The 4th time they've called in the last 20 minutes. Can you call me back around 1, like a text message said? So, but don't get caught in the weeds trying to be super creative and coming up with 900 different lead generation levers. It's only going to cause you more grief because you want to focus on the ones. Because if you're not running it long enough to know the ROI, return on investment, there's no way for you to make a smart business decision on if you're going to continue or stop that lead generation lever. I can tell you the ones that you should always have is your sphere of influence. 70% of your business should come from sphere of influence. How do you grow your sphere of influence? That's when we get into the Facebook, the social medias, your neighborhood door knocking, creating community. And then the other 2 you can fill in. Open houses, door knocking. They kind of go synonymous with one another. Circle prospecting. Paying for command ads. These are all avenues to do so. It's important that prospecting to your personal strengths. If you don't mind pounding the pavement and knocking on 100 doors, do so. If you don't mind, like Jason, picking up the phone and talking to 100 people today, do so. Play to your strengths. If you're super creative and you come up with engaging content, social media is going to be a good avenue for you. Just don't get lost in the weeds. Utilize it to create engagement everywhere. So just know that not everything is for everyone. So what works for one person may not work for you. Like the Browns, you and husband and wife, just because Jason or some works for Steven may not work for Desiree. But doesn't mean you can't overlap a little bit, because it gives a different face, different voice to the same message. Don't be afraid to do that. Utilize your strengths. Like Chris is part of a community and a country club. Fantastic social organization that he can utilize his connections to. Not all of us have that avenue. So some good opportunities here. Page 12 in your participation guide, ask some questions about what do you feel should be your top prospecting strengths? Now, what do you feel is your top strengths right now? Give me the number one out of all these. What's your top strength? Starting with you, Jason, are you still with us? We lost Jason. All right, Jacob, what's your top prospecting strength?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay, well, that's your homework.
Yeah.
Sit down, write out all your strengths and figure out which one comes to you most naturally.
Okay.
Okay, and then we can build a plan around it. Miss Sarah, what is your most natural strength when it comes to prospecting?
If we're talking about like the different genres, social media, and only because I have that backing from when I was, in photography. So that would be it.
Okay, photography, great pictures, telling stories with images. So what's your strength again?
Okay, I hear you.
Telling stories with images.
Yes.
What did it say? A picture's worth 1,000 words?
Yeah.
That's where we kind of, when you ask the question, what's your strength? Chris, what's your strength for prospecting? Most natural right now.
I know a lot of people, and I can talk to them easily. I have a ability to make people feel comfortable with me, and I'm using the Airbnbs now to generate new people from out of state, and I just get to know them and make friends with them, and I've already come up with like 3 good prospects for on the buy side. Using my businesses, to attract people with the free truck if you list or buy or sell through me, and I have a broad community base of CPAs and attorneys that I know that I'm going to reach out with and start talking to them about referring people to me on the real estate side. Because the first thing you do when you move to town, you get a new CPA, you get a new attorney, you get a real estate agent. You have to change up all your services. Haircut. I'm at the barber now, so I'm going to talk to him about putting my cards up there because he sees people. You come to town, you need a new barber, so I'll tell him I'll send people his way, he sends people my way, and we'll work back and forth. That's kind of, we used to say when I was a stockbroker, everything works and nothing works. So we just, you keep trying things, and everything you get some leads from that, you get some leads from this, but if you're not trying, you're probably not going to do very well. So trying, I guess that's
sure.
My best.
Your number one strength is networking. Trying. I'd say it's networking. I would see as your number one strength is networking and building community. So you're absolutely right. You do create relationships quickly, and you do have the ability to make people ease. That's awesome. So Heather, what is your number one strength in prospecting?
I don't have any idea.
Okay, same thing as Jacob. I want you to write down all the things that you are good at.
Okay.
Naturally, and which one comes the best, and how we can utilize that to suit a prospecting need. Very personable, social, engaging, something like whatever. I want you to think about these things because we need to identify those core competencies so that we can build upon them. Letha, what's yours?
Well, I'm pretty good at communication, especially probably more so with people that I don't know very well. I feel more confident in communicating with them versus trying to get the home database on board because, they just take you more seriously when you have something to offer. So I'm looking at I'm wanting to, even though I've not done it before, I'm wanting to try the open houses. I also want to, Oracle has like the Oaks Festival, and I want to do like a booth and get some little giveaway stuff like magnets and pins and stuff like that, and try and expand my database and be able to make those particular calls.
So let's narrow all that down into one. What is your strength out of all of that? What comes most naturally?
I do pretty good on the calls. If I could just expand my database into the area that I want to be.
So you're comfortable making calls.
Uh-huh.
Your strength would be definitely a phone-based prospecting effort.
Yeah. So
which is
basically,
hey, run with it.
Use those other things to generate the database to be able to make the calls.
Right. All right, Stephen, Desiree. You guys got to go last because you're most important to me right now. That you're at the top of my screen. So.
I would say for me, the most comfortable right now is social media. Prior from taking a break from Facebook, I did that where I got off for a while. I got a lot of referrals for my artwork and stuff by all the postings I did and stuff. So now if I can just transfer that same dedication to that and make it fun, I think I can get a lot more referrals and stuff from that, especially since I had been away from Facebook for so long. Coming back, a lot of people were like, oh, what happened? Where you been? So it's a way for me to get talking to people more, and I'm comfortable with it too. So
good. I like it. Because being able to step away from Facebook, sometimes we get drawn into it too much. I can tell you the amount that I post on social media, I don't see very much activity because I don't engage like I should. But because I know that I'll fall in that rabbit hole and spend 15 hours going deeper and deeper in social media. All right, Steven, what about you?
I'd say what my strength is I have anxiety like most people do, except for my anxiety is with people I know, not with strangers. I've been customer service and restaurant my whole life. So you put me in front of somebody I don't know and I'll wisecrack and talk all day long. But if you try to get me to talk to somebody I've known for 5 years, that I get anxiety around, some of my best friends and stuff. So we haven't got out there and got going, but I know that door knocking and open houses is something that I really itch and look forward to because I like dealing with people I don't know.
Okay. That's gonna be a hurdle you're gonna have to climb over because the whole business and relationships, real estate equals relationships, is creating those long-term things. And sometimes it's hard to have business conversations with people we know because they know so much about us. Like some of my past is very troubling. I was a kid, I did a lot of dumb shit, but I've sold houses to my friends.
Yeah.
And I've been that core where they have to trust me as the business professional in the housing, but they've also seen me pissed drunk falling off the top of a roof. We tell ourselves these stories, the people that know us, that we get the anxiety around the judgment, that maybe the situation you're dealing with may not, but that's something we have to come over is realizing that people need our services. And even if we've known them 5, 15, 20 years, you can put them in a box and utilize that box for the sole purpose of real estate and be the wisecrack and then having that relationship. And
well, I've already noticed it already makes me more okay starting to think about all the people that I know in my contact list and stuff, the excitement about remembering to text them or remembering to call them or remembering to do that because on friends and family, I feel more comfortable in small spurts like that. So the drip system and the constantly re-engaging with people is got me excited already and wanting me to actually get out there and continue to keep contact with people that I haven't talked to. And since the coronavirus started, I stopped talking to everybody, nobody except for my wife and my kids. Basically everything was shut off. So it's getting back into that world.
I'm with you. That a good strength to have is the comfort we're talking to strangers. We just build on that, the weakness of the anxiety. I'm glad you've already identified that. The rest of you, that thinking about your strengths will also correlate to what you have the most opportunity in. And if we can bring that up a little bit and fortify your strengths, it's good. You can take a B strength and make it an A strength. You cannot take a D strength and make it an A strength. We can move a little bit in our competencies now. It's what we call E to P, is entrepreneurial, the things that we're naturally good at, and moving to purposeful, whereas we're doing breakthroughs and changing. So that's a completely different class we're talking about there. But I want you guys to take action and develop your lead generation plan. There's a list of stuff in your book if you want to go to it, and you can see on page 13 where you can list out all the different lead sources available to you, like door knocking, calls to Sphere, agent referrals, connect newsletters, for sale by owners, open houses, etc., sign calls, and so on, and prioritize the ones that you want to do most, your 10. These are the things that I feel comfortable, like Desiree would be social media, then calls to Sphere, so on and so forth. And, for Letha, it might be calls to Sphere, circle prospecting, and then door knocking, because it's the physical aspect of it. And other ones like Sarah would be social media, open houses, newsletters, stuff that you can make digital or creative that's not so much phone call and prospecting based to create. I want you to identify your top 5 lead sources that's going to fit your natural ability and what we can be purposeful on in growing past E to P and changing that innate ability we have, focusing it for real estate to allow us to generate more leads naturally and engaging. Because if you like doing it, you'll do it more often. If you hate doing it, you will find a reason not to do it. I hate being on the phone for this simple fact. And this is the only reason I don't like being on the phone. My arm is already cramping.
Got to get some AirPods. They work beautiful.
I do, I have them. But I don't wear them very often because I forget about them. They're in my pocket. They're in my pocket. Here, pull them out.
I hate holding a phone now. I hate it. So I've always got, I always got those around because I hate talking on the phone and having to hold that darn phone. I want to walk around.
Yeah, 90% of the time when you guys call me, you're on speakerphone in my office and the phone's on my desk. I'm talking to you like this because I don't like holding the phone. That's it. Like I know my hiccup. I know my hangups on it. I would rather talk to you in my truck driving around town than I would sitting at my desk. Again, that's why I do a lot of my calls when I'm driving places, because it's where my brain works the best. So understanding what you're like, what you don't like, and how we can take what you don't like and tweak it a little bit to help us increase our effectiveness. So develop a prospecting plan. We're going to recap from today. How has your thinking changed? This is the same question we ask every day. I'm going to take this slide down so I can see your pretty faces. How has your thinking changed around prospecting and lead generation? What are
It's a much bigger world. It's a much bigger world than every time we go through this type of stuff, I realize more and more how simple and easy it is and how abundant, even if you don't know a lot of people or you haven't called people like me, I still have all that. I still have social media. I still live in a neighborhood. It still blows me away how much prospecting and lead generation there is.
There is a ton. There's a ton. So as you're developing your plan, go to your resource pages, and page 14 through and 15 and 16 is lining out what your lead sources are going to be. Part 1, 2, and 3. What are you going to do? Your top 3, the pros and cons. Again, what we like, what we don't like. This is going to get you to write them out. And then you're going to go through the prospecting method needed, the resources needed, the time frame, who's my target. Line out your plan. I want you to write those down. I want you to send me a picture of it. Okay, that's your homework for today. Let's get that stuff filled out. I can see Desiree like, oh God, this is gonna suck. My neck hurts already. I gotta do homework. You know why I make you do homework? Because then I know you're doing it. But thank you, Stephen, for that. You're right. The world is a lot bigger. So let's narrow it down. Something else. Give me an aha.
Immediately after this Zoom call, I'm gonna go call that adoption fundraising group and start a fundraiser with them.
This is kind of a new idea there for you. How's your mindset changed? How's your mindset around lead generation changed?
I think for me, I'm very fixated on the term lead generation and the term prospecting. I don't like them. It's for me. And so I keep every single time I have this light bulb, it doesn't even have to be that. It's essentially just being friends with these people and getting them to know you and like you enough so that you and you know trust you enough that you can give the amount of info, you know, that you're the resource they need, the only resource they need for real estate. So it's just building relationships and having conversation. That's all it is. It seems very basic, but I get it fixated in my head that I have to, I don't know, that it has to be selling almost, but it does, you know, it doesn't, it just doesn't have to be.
Right. No, I'm with you. I love that. It's reframing it in your own brain to make sense. Real estate equals relationships. How many relationships do you need to get to your goal? Period. So what was meaningful, you guys? I need something else. What was meaningful to you today? What was meaningful about the lecture, the discussion, the material that was meaningful to you? Heather's got something. I can see her wheels ticking.
All the different ways of prospecting that you listed off.
And they're in your MREA if you guys need. It's like page 139, I think it is, but it's in there. Prospecting generation, but they're all in your list. Go ahead, Heather.
Just, you know, I just appreciate you telling me to get out of my own way and just stop feeling awkward and do it. Sometimes I just need that.
Here's any new agent, I tell you the secret sauce, don't think, just do. If I thought about how I look to some things, oh man, I wouldn't do any of it. So how are your behaviors going to be different moving forward? What actions are you going to take moving forward? Letha.
Well, I'm going to go through the MLS and find a new listing in the area that I'm interested, say the Oro Valley, North Side, Catalina area, somewhere in there. And I'm going to hold an open house. And before that, I'm going to set up my directional signs and I'm going to do door knocking around the area to invite people to the open house and hopefully gain leads.
Nice, nice. What tools or systems can you guys utilize? What's going to help your efforts be easier gained?
Well, we've got the MLS system that shows us, like you showed us, which Keller Williams agents have listings in the area. We can also use the agent referral system that you showed us in Command, which I thought was awesome.
A lot of resource there, a lot of it. So please get in there and play with it, guys. I'm glad you guys were able to join in. A lot of participation today, but I think prospecting is one of the main things you need to have your business built around, period. I don't know about your financial portfolios or what you got, but not a lot of people have hundreds of thousands of dollars to throw into marketing to jumpstart their business. Right. But they do have hours upon hours of dead time waiting for something to happen when we can get up there and create the energies needed to get successful right away. So that's where we're at. I said that we're gonna start doing some contract stuff today. So I wanna show you on dotloop where we're gonna go. I'm gonna do this quickly because I like cutting you guys out early so you can do some phone calls. But in your dotloop, so you get through at mykw.kw.com, it's your intranet. If you have not accessed this, you need to do so. At the top, you'll see my transactions. You're gonna click that one to start a transaction, which will take you into dotloop. If you have not set up your dotloop, you're going to need to do that. You'll have an email that was sent to you through your Keller Cloud login. This will take you into dotloop. This is where you're going to find all of your documents under templates. We showed you that the other day. Remember that? Under templates, as well as all the deals that you're currently working. It's probably going to look a whole lot like this. I shorten it down because this takes up way too much room on my page. So I just do a compact view so I can see closing dates and change stuff like that. So I want you all to go into dotloop and create yourself your own file, like I did Big Dan Caldwell. And in doing so, you can practice with things. You can create different folders. So if you're adding a folder, You can add templates to it. I sent out everyone the compliance checklist for your deals. So we'd ask you to go in there and create a fake deal and try playing with it. So starting with buyers and then going to sellers, you can get your own. Oh, what happened? Why did it do that? That was weird. So today I'm going to show you how to create a template. Template of your documents so you can start filling things out. On your dot loop, you're going to have a thing up here that says personal. It's probably going to be blank. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on add a document. You're going to click on your template and you're going to go into the templates needed to get your documents. And I can tell you for us, your KWSA documents, you're going to need the ADA, your airport disclosure. You're going to copy those into your file. And then you're going to go back into templates. You're going to go into Arizona Association Interactive documents. That's going to be the bulk of the forms, your addendums, your other notifications, your contracts, and you're going to add those. You're going to go to your list, that compliance list, and pick out all of the things that are required, all of them required, and put them in your template to start with. In that, you're going to have the ABA, which we really don't need to do anything to because it's per deal, fill out the information. This is the affiliated business authorization agreement disclosure between us, Catalina Title Security. We're soon going to have a new one because of Intralend. Your buyer broker agreement, which is good to have for any buyer that you're under contract with. This is going to be your compensation agreement that I would recommend you definitely use in every transaction. And line 28 outlines the amount of compensation. I put 3% of total sales price plus $495. Depends on what you want to charge, what you want to do. Your real estate election and disclosure. Notice how the boxes are checked 34 and 36, representing the buyer's broker and showing the buyer property listed by the broker's firm and selected buyer. These are all going to be in here so that you can save your templates and make your life easier when you're creating new deals. But we're going to get into the purchase contract because that's going to be the main bulk of things that we're going to go over right now. The main page of the buyer's contract, it's the one we're going to deal with today, lets them know that they're entering into a legally binding agreement. They need to read the entire agreement. They should have reviewed the property disclosure statement from the sellers and review the inspection paragraph from section 6A, confirm their ability to obtain insurance. Some houses, like definitely during the Mount Lemmon fire, could not get insurance because of the fire. We could not sell houses in those areas. You want to make sure you read the title commitment within 5 days of the receipt. Once we get it, and that's going to show them what needs to happen on the house. Read the CC&Rs and other governing documents within 5 days of receipt so that we know that they can't have any St. Bernards or radio towers or dragons in the backyard. It's very disappointing to a buyer that they can't do something in their house they want to do by the CC&Rs. Conduct a thorough pre-closing walkthrough. If the property is unacceptable, speak up. Say something. After closing is too late. Not maybe, is. After closing is too late. That's important to go over with your buyers. Now, to fill this out, very simple. Buyer's names, legal names. If there's two, you put and. Seller, if you know the seller's name, put it here. If not, check the box. The premises address, make sure you have the assessor's number. The assessor's number is also the tax ID, the parcel ID. A lot of people get confused on that because nowhere on any of the resources says assessor's number. It just says tax ID or parcel ID. Every place has one. Your city, your county, the zip code, and the legal description must be filled out. Section 1C is our purchase price to be paid as outlined below. So purchase price, like $300,000. Earnest money is a percentage of that or how much the buyer is willing to give. The down payment, if any, and then the final amount. If it's a loan, new loan as defined in section 2. If it's a cash deal, it just says all cash deal. Hey, Miss Nancy, I'm teaching Ignite. Can I call you back? Thank you. Now, earnest money in the form of a personal check deposited to the escrow company. Make sure you have those checked out. Then you have your date of closing. This is the date we want to select. Now, depending on your lending type, either it's a cash deal or a finance deal, you want to discuss that with the lender or the financial institution on how long they need to satiate the deal. If it's a USDA loan, remember this, USDA loans, no less than 45 days. Make sure you have a communication with your lender of what's realistic and what's going to be marketable. Possession, you don't really need to check anything on. This is just the deliverance of the occupancy and keys at the time of closing or beforehand if you put something else here. Then we have the addenda incorporated. So if there's a buyer contingency, a domestic well HOA, lead-based paint, loan assumption, on-site wastewater, any of the addendum needed, we're going to go over that more. You'll have all that here. And you need to select the addendum that are incorporated in this purchase agreement. That way we know they all came together. Other would be something for like COVID addendum. Fixtures and personal properties, if you have not read this, this is the list of things that always conveys with the personal property of the deal. Additional stuff would be the refrigerator. Let me ask you, why is the refrigerator considered personal property?
Because it's not attached.
Right.
Not attached. Method of a fixture. Washer and dryer, well, it's a gas dryer, it's installed.
It can be uninstalled real quick.
It doesn't damage it.
Right.
Doesn't damage it. Now, let me ask you, the range goes, right? The oven, the range, it's just attached with a gas line. Why does it have to stay?
It's a good question. I've always wondered that myself. Why does it have to stay?
The anti-tip bracket. Range should have an anti-tip bracket installed to keep the range from tipping forward.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So there's a small piece of metal on the ground that the leg of the range slips into so it won't tip forward when the door's open or a kid stands on it. That is the reason why the range stays. Method of a fixture, because the anti-tip bracket needs to be installed. I will tell you, most of them aren't installed. Either that or there's a chain. You'll see a chain attached to the wall or the ground and the back of the range. It's some kind of anti-tip device that's installed. Fridges don't have them. Washer dryers don't have them. Even though they need to be installed with like water lines or gas lines, they're not a fix. Method of a fixture. Now you can tell your clients that. That's why this stays and nothing else. All right. If you are going to ask for the washer, dryer, refrigerator, I want you to put like white side by side, Samsung, model number if you have it, right? Not just, that tells me you weren't listening. Never put as seen on or per MLS listing. I know because they may change the photo, they may change it, but if you put a stainless steel French door GE fridge, model number blank, then we know for a fact that was there. If you put as seen on 11/21/2020, maybe they had a fridge in the garage and a fridge in the kitchen. You saw them both. Which one are they going to leave?
The one they like the least.
Exactly. So we want to be very clear. Washers and dryers, front load, top load, white, black, blue, orange, green, stacked, gas. Make sure, very rarely they're going to switch them out on you, but you don't want to give them the opportunity. Any other personal properties we outline there? Financing, read the financing sections. This is the type of financing being used, conventional FHA, VA, USDA, assumption, seller careback, or other. This you can put like private lending, if it's a hard money loan. Seller concessions, if any, are either displayed either or as a percentage or a dollar amount. Do not put the percentage here like some people do. Per this contract, the seller only has to give $3 in closing costs versus 3%. Yes, I do it. So now, appraisal costs, who's paying for it, buyer, seller, other? Well, the appraisal be be non-refundable? Is it going to be applied towards the seller's concession, if any? What I would challenge, if you guys are having closing costs needed for a buyer, ask the lender how much they need. Instead of putting 3% here for like $5,500, if it's what they need, because $5,500 looks a lot better than 3% of a $300,000 deal. Like a lot more. Title and escrow company needs to be filled out. Either use the one that you know and trust, or use the one that they're asking you to use in the MLS. Any association, proration, assignment fees, if they're paid anything, if they're changing, I never change it.
Hey, sorry to bother you. Mine's not moving. Is it just my internet, or is everybody's not moving?
Let me reset it then. Stopping, resetting. Okay, moving again. Cool, yeah. So where we were at before, FHA, all this loan stuff, seller concessions, appraisals, title and escrow. Don't do anything with prorations or assessments. This is important for houses that were built prior to lead-based paint, so prior to 1978. If it was built in 1978, do you need to check this box? No, it's prior to 77 and older. So lead-based paint information was provided or will be provided within 5 days of contract acceptance. Affidavit disclosure, warranties, always write none in line 211. 210 says the buyer warrants the buyer is not relying on any verbal representations concerning the premises except disclosed as follows, meaning the house is being sold as is, the buyer was not promised anything except blank. Now, if you said that it's got a new roof and you got a 5-year warranty on the roof, you would write that here, 5-year warranty on the roof per Gilberto Smith's Roofing. Write none. It keeps you out of the legal doghouse, because that's them identifying that they are not relying on any verbal representation of a warranty. Due diligence is your inspection period. Defaults to 10 days. If you want to do more or less, you put it there. Read this. It's very important information. You need to select on-site wastewater if the sewer are on-site. So you got sewer systems, conventional septic systems, or alternative systems. If you're selling a house in the mountains or a very rocky terrain, you want to ask if it has an alternative system. They're similar to septic systems, but they're more expensive and way harder to maintain. Your buyers are going to initial these 3 lines. The disapproval of inspections gives us 5 days after receipt, and then the seller has 5 days to respond to you. Next, we have a home warranty plan. The home warranty plan will be ordered by the buyer or the seller, depending on, I always say it will be ordered by the buyer because you don't want to give the seller your client's contact information. With the following optional coverage, if it has a swimming pool, a second fridge, additional plumbing, a roof, anything like that, to be issued by the home warranty company of your select, at a cost not to exceed how much the warranties cost, paid for by the seller, buyer, or split evenly, or the buyer declines the home warranty. You have to have a selection made here. Remedies is just contract stuff. Page 8, we also call the blank lines of death. Try not to have to fill anything else in here. What kind of things would you have to put in here, you think? If you're selling a home for a licensed agent, if you're selling a home for a realtor or why can't I think of the word? A relative. Realtor and relative kept popping up. It will just say buyer and seller, or buyer related to buyer broker. Seller related to buyer broker. Disclose things. Buyer is licensed in the state of Arizona to sell real estate and working for Keller Williams Southern Arizona. If you're selling your own house, seller is licensed in the state of Arizona working with Keller Williams Southern Arizona, acting as the principal, not a broker. So just disclosing things. If you have questions about that, I want you to call me and we'll discuss it. I try not to put anything on the lines 8 because we have additional resources, additional addendum to cover all those things. So making sure we cover our ass is important. anything you write here is taken over anything that's on the contract. So you want to make sure you're safe about it. I have seen people put your closing costs here, 3% here, and then on page 8, put seller shall provide X amount in closing costs. Well, this number supersedes the other one, and this number was lower. The sellers went with the lower number when they didn't need to, because it's already in the contract. Knowing what's in the contract will keep you from replicating or duplicating things you don't need to keep yourself covered. That's page 8. Page 9 is the more definitions about different elements. I implore you to read it. We're not going to go into the broker depth of everything. I just wanted you guys to have an understanding of it. Terms of acceptance needs to be outlined because the contract needs to have a termination point for acceptance. Typically, it's 24 hours or the end of the next business day. If it's a special circumstance, like you've got the offer out at 8 a.m., you want to answer that day, you put 8 p.m. Making sure you follow any MLS guidelines. If the sellers are out of country, out of state, on vacation, and it says, please allow 48 hours for response, follow that. Don't be a jerk. Well, I want them to answer today. They're not going to. Also, some companies out there do not work weekends. So they will say all offers will be responded to between 9 and 5, Monday through Friday. So if you're submitting an offer at 5 p.m. on Friday, they're not going to get to it till Monday. Again, notate accordingly. Sellers will initial, buyers will initial, they sign here. Then we go to page 10, which is your information. So it's your name, or if you're partnered with somebody like the two agents, their information, your firm name, which is also your broker name. It may default to Keller Williams or Valley or Keller Williams Green Valley. Your broker's name is Keller Williams Southern Arizona, not Keller Williams AZ. I have seen this. That is wrong. It has to say Arizona. Your firm license code, this is the one for the JV office. If you're at the KLP office, it's 4783. The address, make sure you have the correct address. The frame license number is not the same for both market centers. Your phone number, your email. If you have a fax, put your phone number. And then select who the agency is. If you are working with another Keller Williams agent, then you want to make sure you select both buyer and seller, because the broker is going to represent both parties, even though you as an agent are not. If it's just you and like Long Realty, then just put buyer. Buyer's information, seller's information. So seller's agent name, their code, their MLS. You get all that from the MLS anyways. You just might as well fill it out and select the buyer or the seller or both. And now your contract is filled out. I know I went over that super fast. Any questions? Has anyone looked at them yet? So once you read it, you start understanding what each section is. It's a lot easier to fill out. It's a lot easier to know what needs to go there. So that's your homework for today, is identifying your key resources needed for your lead generation. So filling out pages, I think it was 13 and 15, right? Of the participation guide. Filling those out, identifying what your lead sources are going to be moving forward, what you need for those lead sources, what's your time commitment, what are we going to block out on our calendar to do so, and then follow the plan. And as well as going into Dotloop, making sure you've logged into Dotloop, you have access to your files and information, and you read the contract and you can fill it out. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging in with me today. You got 15 minutes of your day left, so go make the best of it. Any questions before we get off? Cool. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. again. So it's 9 to 11 tomorrow, and then 11 to 1 for that class with Kristen. If you want to, it's in the chat for the email, as well as the email we sent you yesterday. Have a blessed day, guys. We'll talk to you soon.